Hello and welcome to the Easy Allies podcast. I'll be your moderator, Brandon Jones. Joining me this week, panelists Brad Ellis.
Hello.
Michael Huber.
Hello.
The one true Balan of my Wonder World, and my co-moderator, Daniel Bloodworth.
Hello.
Making it all happen in the control room, Isla Hink.
Hi.
Are there any pens? These pens are still here. Get out of here, pens.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, pens.
We're not here to talk about pens. We're here to talk about some of the biggest headlines in the world of video games, including that dynamite red-hot state of play that we watched today that we'll kick things off with. But before we do that, we have to answer for all of the mistakes we made in last week's podcast. Isla, begin corrections. Music, please.
Boop.
Gotham Knights is only 2-player, drop in, drop out. We know that. It's just one of those things that in conversation we just say, oh, 4-player
I
co-op, blah,
totally
blah, blah.
have forgotten that and replaced it with 4-player.
Between those two things.
So,
Like,
wow,
those games
2-player
aren't
only,
real yet.
interesting. Yeah.
It's 2021, you know. Also, Gotham Knights is confirmed not a live service game last year, and Suicide Squad still unconfirmed, although the commenters, like, from that trailer, it looks super story-focused.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Rocksteady's usually, their previous MO has been like, you know, we're not going to live service it, but like DLC.
Yeah,
Costumes,
sure.
modes.
And
racetracks,
also
like-
the idea of playing it single player,
Yeah.
you know, how well will that work? I don't know, but it doesn't really jive with live service too well.
If there's like a separate Martian Manhunter boss fight for like $5, I'd be like, I gotta buy that.
Right.
I was thinking of Sweet Home on the Famicom. That is a precursor to Resident Evil. It's based on a film, I believe,
On the
also called Sweet Home in
Famicom?
Japan. Yeah.
Wow.
They were just top-down little sprite things walking around, but it was like kind of the
Cool.
genesis at the beginning. Resident Evil
That movie
retrospective
is
on game trailers. I talk about
impossible
Sweet
to
Home.
find.
Vivi talks a lot in World of Final Fantasy as well. Or just talks.
But it was Kingdom Hearts 2 first.
Correct. So Vivi does have a history of talking, and Bloodworth now regale us in how incorrect he was last week
Oh, yeah.
concerning the
Because
day
Brad
and
was
date
questioning, and I
launch
actually
of
said
Splinter
the
Cell.
word day and date, and then afterwards, like, I didn't say day and date, did I? I was like, yes, I did.
It was Xbox first then?
Yeah, so Splinter Cell, so it was first on Xbox, but it came to PS2 and GameCube 6 months later, so it wasn't that big of a exclusive. It
What
was
about Splinter Cell 1?
the first one.
It's on PC.
Yeah, it was also on PC.
Yeah.
And,
had it on PC.
And then, and what we were talking about, I had it on GameCube.
Got it.
And then the second game, it was 3 months ahead of PS2 and 4 months ahead of GameCube.
Oh.
And then the third game, it was all the same week. There's
Got
like
it.
different specific days, but it was just like how shipping
Yeah.
games was back then.
You're referring to Pandora Tomorrow and Chaos Theory. I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
A weird thing that they brought up that I didn't realize was that apparently Microsoft published the first game on the Xbox.
I knew there was like some big marketing behind that game.
Some weirdo marketing thing, yeah.
Xbox told me about that character. Like that was
Yeah.
an Xbox cover of Splinter Cell was like my introduction to
worked.
that franchise. Yeah.
And I didn't have the Xbox until later, so I was like, I just cared about the GameCube version.
10 out of
That's what I
10
had.
lighting. The first one.
Yeah.
That's all I remember the first
Yeah,
one.
that was one of the big
So
advantages on the
good.
Xbox
Oh
versions.
my god.
Yeah.
Light coming through blinds.
Damn.
So
That's
cool.
awesome.
So cool.
Probably like going through some vent and light.
yeah,
coming in.
yeah.
Whoa.
It was nuts. Nuts.
End corrections music, please.
Boop.
Cool.
Sweet Home looks sick.
Sweet Home is very unique.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can watch the
I wanna see the movie, too.
but It's like
Oh.
it hasn't been on anything, and there's like VHS, but it's like
Damn.
$500.
Very
it's like
unusual, very grainy, very old.
Impossible to find. You can watch it on YouTube though, like low res.
I was talking about the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about cinema, specifically horror cinema. It is the week of Halloween. We have a couple of horror movies that are in dire straits
Oh.
because we need actors. You know, even when you do animation, you got to have voice actors. And we have some actors that are stepping on some characters we need to replace with video game characters. All actors are busy. They have to dip into the video game industry, specifically, as Sage Mode Q tells us, very tragically, this close to All Hallows Eve, Robert Englund has walked off the set of Nightmare on Elm Street. His potential replacements are El Presidente Anton Castillo from Far Cry 6, in case you don't know, Albert Wesker, or Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat. Replacing Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger in at least one Nightmare film. We'll see how it does, and then we'll talk about making more.
Wesker's got some pretty good taunting. You know, he taunts pretty well.
He can talk down to you really calmly.
Can he do like
Yeah.
accents and stuff, though?
Not that I'm aware of.
I kind of just want him to talk like Wesker though.
yeah.
Could you see Wesker like wearing costumes? You know, I'm Cowboy Wesker. Like I don't know.
I don't see Anton at all.
I don't see Anton at all. I definitely see the
Somebody just finished that
the
game.
Wesker mind games for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Good mind games.
But Shao Kahn has that intimidation factor for.
Yeah,
that
he's
whole-
Shao Kahn is so brute force
too
though,
brute.
so
Yeah.
that's why I'm gonna lean on Wesker here.
It's more of a Jason.
Yeah, it's more. Shao
Physical
Kahn is
killer?
more of a Jason Voorhees type.
Because I think Wesker's come up a couple times, but he's finally getting a gig.
Yeah,
There you go,
Yeah,
Wesker.
there you go.
nice.
Get paid.
Throw him
Your
the
cast.
bone.
Yeah, he needs it.
From Hugo Aguilar, Nev Campbell stubbed her toe
Oh.
right before Scream started shooting. Unfortunately, she's not able to act due to said injuries. Here are the replacements: Lara Croft, Cortana, or Aerith.
Well, I feel like Laura Croft would kill them, probably.
Eric
Yeah.
seems good.
Laura Croft would shoot first and ask questions later.
Yeah.
Cortana can't be killed. I don't know. Just
Cortana's like a
stab-
computer? I don't understand.
I'd like to see Ghostface messing with Cortana. I guess that'd be amusing.
It's a match, yeah.
potentially.
Delete.
But and what was the last one?
Aerith.
Aerith.
Aerith
Aerith?
would also- probably also kill them.
Gotta be different. Yeah.
Cast some magic.
Or survive just Phoenix down.
Yeah.
Ghostface like, what?
I'm here for the Cortana Ghostface calls.
Okay.
I'm here
Oh,
for
the
that.
calls. Yeah,
I
yeah,
want to
yeah.
hear that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to hear those conversations.
Wherever the guy's
Wanna
calling
play a
from,
game?
you know, like in a house across the street, just warthogs drop outside and start rolling. He's like, what? How'd you find me? All right. Hopefully those movies will turn out okay. We had a state of play today,
Yeah.
and we weren't sure what to expect. I don't know. I feel bad for anybody really going into this, even before it happened, and we didn't know what they were going to talk about.
I got talked off the ledge.
That was expecting
expected
a lot.
nothing.
What was your big thing, Brad?
I was hoping we were going to see 16. I was like pretty sure.
Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 16. But then Huber's like, I got a bad feeling about it.
Yeah.
My spider sense is not tingling. And then
Brett-
it slowly. What?
Do you need to see more of this video game before you're
No,
you're
but I want
comfortable
to.
in a purchase?
No. I don't have to see anything. I can just see a title and buy it. That's how best time the series.
Well, we were talking about. I thought GTA was a lock, and when we
Right.
were like speculating that last week, and then I had the thought, it's like, why? What?
It's a couple weeks away.
Rockstar's like, people are kind of be unconvinced. I don't know, $60 for the whole trilogy, looking better than it ever has. I'll think about it. But that second trailer really pushed me over the edge when I saw heard Ray Liotta just say one more line. Then I knew.
Here's the final nail in the coffin for 16, though, Jones, showing up. Is I was like, oh, yeah, 14 has an expansion coming out pretty soon. They're all gung-ho on that until... They're probably not going to talk about anything else until that's out.
Sure, I don't think that necessarily says they won't be there, though. I mean,
Yes, it does, Blood.
Yes, it does.
Because it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Proof is right
It
here.
100%
I don't see
does.
it in the rundown here, Blood. Something's
Yep,
wrong.
There's proof. It's like Avengers the other day just were like, hey, we're not going to have any updates until Guardians is out. Like, we don't want to
Right.
take it. That's what the devs do. You know, they have a similar game coming out in their catalog and they clear the runway.
And you were rubbing a little rabbit's foot for some Village DLC, maybe for that.
Yeah,
Resident
that sounds
Evil
like
franchise?
a
Quietly
Keeley
hoping.
item. That'll be Keeley. It's got Keeley written all over it. Same with Last of Us. I mean, that's first party, but
Do you think
Keeley's
it'll-
got the goods.
Do you think that'll I like talking about things that weren't in the state of play. I want to try to drag this out as long as I can. Do you think do you think that'll be more of like a run, like a Hyrule Warriors, like here's what we have planned for Resident Evil, or is it just the first chapter is going to get a cool trailer or that
For the
beginning of
DLC?
it, for the DLC? Yeah. Do you think it's going to be? a bunch
I
of
think they'll
weird
do just like
seven
a
stuff?
I think they'll do like a gameplay or like uninterrupted.
Yeah, they're going to show
Video of
something,
it, yeah.
Because they already did that.
Yeah.
We're working on DLC video.
Yeah.
Right.
It'll just be like
E3.
a clip of a
Yeah.
part of the game for sure.
I feel like it's probably not going to be the RE7 style rollout, just because it feels like they weren't even
Yeah.
planning to do anything.
You
and
just
then
want
it's like,
DLC?
it's like, yeah, exactly.
yeah.
That's
Give
the
Village.
reaction I got.
Quiet. Wait for Reverse. RE-verse, excuse me.
Oh, my God.
Blood, anything you were expecting today that you didn't get? Even just thinking that might possibly be there?
No, because I didn't really feel like I knew what to expect out of this. You know, when they mentioned Little Devil Inside, I guess I was expecting that to be not the biggest thing. You know, I really thought that, okay, they're going to tell us this, and they're going to have something else that's bigger that will probably close it out or whatever. And it's like, oh, no, that's really the reason they're having this, to show us Little Devil Inside. Everything else just kind of felt like it was leading up to that.
Isla, did anything jump out at you? Oh, we can start with Let It Die. Did that stand out more than anything else, you think, for you?
Little Devil Inside and Let It Die were kind of the
Death verse.
The
fun
beginning and the end
highlights. Yeah, yeah.
of the state of play. Some good October vibes. What is Let It Die?
Let It Die.
I remember Let It Die.
Love
What is
Let
Let
It
It Die?
Let It Die was a PlayStation game that was like Dark Souls, but with paywalls, and you're ascending a tower, and it has a really weird attitude, and it's fun.
The multiplayer was really weird. People would
multiplayer was
invade your
really
base when you were gone.
Yeah,
Oh, it's like campaign.
it's yeah, kind of, it's a weird game
Awesome
that's
game.
like fantastic and really bad.
Yes, I that is the thing. The number because I never played it. I think it was other than the dude with the weird blood tubes that was sitting at E3 like on a bench, and I was like, that's a tough cosplay job. That's a tough, this guy just like who made this game?
What elevates it into an awesome game instead of like janky, weird, whatever is the combat was fun.
Yeah.
It was really, really fun.
And there was
combat.
one. You commented, Blood. Dude knocked a guy off a ledge. That perspective of that player looked up at somebody then dropping down with a blade attack. I remember you saying like "ooh" or something. You were like, "Oh, that's okay."
I thought
That's
I saw
fun.
through that cut. I wonder if it's like a plunging attack or if the person just like drops
They're just
and
fun,
then
yeah, but
waits
still it's-
and then
But I mean, it's games that maybe have a little sloppy combat or
Yeah.
something. You kind of make those big epic moments for yourself. And,
Yeah.
like, there was lots of
really cool.
character focused combat. Some of those textures, some of those environments they were combating on weren't that spectacular. But it's a franchise now. Did you think you'd see Let It Die come back?
No. I never thought I'd see Let It
Yeah.
Die again. It's a very pleasant
thought
surprise.
they Let It
Deathverse
Die.
Let It Die specifically.
Yeah.
Deathverse isn't even the name of the
Gotta get a
game
little
show.
more modern spin, some battle royale spin on that thing.
Yeah, it takes place hundreds of years after the first game.
Yeah, timeline. That's
so
super
weird.
awesome.
Yeah, it's still PvPvE.
PvPvP.
And apparently you have like some robot companion that serves as like your weapon loadout. It's kind of
Whoa.
even reading through it, it's really kind of like
I'm sure.
I don't quite understand what's happening here. The whole thing's a TV show on
Yeah.
like a polluted island.
But it was the title didn't come until later, and so it was so funny listening to the Let It Die fans being like, I don't know what the hell this is. It's probably Let It Die though.
Yeah.
It's like,
Looked
I'm not
rough,
sure what's
so-
going on.
Yeah.
All I know is I'm getting Let It Die.
I didn't play Let It
vibes.
Die, but it kind of looked like it.
Yeah.
Like that
Oh
feel.
yeah, it looks like
Right away.
almost the same,
Yeah.
except different vibes. Because the other one you're ascending a tower, and this one it's I don't know. Yeah, it looks more like arena kind of. Who knows?
Yeah.
TV show.
How much character creation customization was there before? Because this seems to be pretty.
There was a decent
heavy
amount,
on
if I
it.
recall. Yeah, I don't really remember, but you made a character. Oh no, you swapped out. Like if one of them died,
That's
you got a
right.
new one. yeah,
right.
and you like pick them off of like a rack of bodies.
Oh my
Wow.
God! Yes,
Yeah.
the rack of bodies.
I love that fucking
God, I
game.
love that game.
So
Let's
the-
play Let It Die.
Is it? Yeah. Is Let It Die gonna have some weird comeback, kind of like Dying Light 1 is now, where it's on Switch
Shut
and
down,
everyone's
though,
checking it out,
right?
like the new
Maybe
Is
version?
it?
Maybe it's shut down. I wouldn't be
I'll check.
surprised.
They're just gonna swap the servers
It
over.
says you'll fight using a special robotic unit known as a Wilson.
Of course.
Wilson.
They can transform into all kinds of weapons like hammers, knives, katanas.
Okay. That's cool.
Deploy protective shields, fire electric bullets, activate skills, and then you can unlock and customize it more and more.
I remember you got a little bit farther than me, so you were like, we're running a race and you're ahead, and you're like, "Yo, this is up here." Like, "Oh, this is coming up." And I remember you hit the paywall.
Oh my God, yeah. You
And that's when we all just kind of scrubbed out of Let It Die.
Yeah.
Because I was feeling the difficulty too before that. And then you're like, yeah, just a little past that, paywall.
there was a boss that straight up. Also on their website they just said maintenance 10/27/21.
Okay.
So
Still going.
2 days ago
Hey,
Awesome.
on Steam and PS4. So it's still going. Still going.
I do for as much mobile gaming as I do. That's definitely a specific emotion where I go,
Yeah.
"Oh, I get you.
Yeah,
I see
yeah.
what you're doing."
There we
Okay,
go.
here.
There it is.
You hit like
Shut
floor
down, uninstall. That was
26
fun. Okay.
Or whatever, and it's just like, oh my God. Like
Yeah.
the difficulty spike was precipitous.
Okay, some of this is really funny, and I want to hear Huber's reactions on this stuff. Hosted by the charismatic Brian Zemeckis, with commentary from former champion Queen Bee. The
Good to see them get
NC's
more work.
Personalities are just as colorful as the Bloodstained stage. While it's well known that Death Jamboree is produced by the enigmatic Yotsuyama Broadcasting Company, the show's past is steeped in mystery and led by a cabal of shadowy figures.
That is nice. Love shadowy organizations. So there's Wilson, And the host is named Zemeckis.
Yeah, what's going on
Robert Zemeckis directed Castaway, which has Wilson. What?
Whoa.
What? Is that intentional?
And I like how
Is
there's a scandal going on behind the creators of the show, where like people are being sawed in half on the show itself. And it's like, yes, but who's running it?
Yeah.
Worried about that. But sure. I mean, next year, we don't know specifically. I think they said next year and not 2022. So who knows how far
The
along
next
that
time they
game is
show
or
it's going to come out.
how that's
It
going to
just
roll
says
out.
PS5 and PS4 in 2022.
They're going to have some weird beta or something. But hopefully we'll be checking that out.
The
When's the,
original had 7 million downloads as
Wow,
of September
cool.
27th of this year.
When's
Cool.
the easy update on revisiting Let It Die Island?
A week and a half. Let's do it. I know Ben wants to play too. They have it on Steam apparently too.
Oh, Akira Yamaoka's sound producer.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Producing those sounds. We Are OFK showed up second. This is a game about a band doing their band stuff. I think is a characters that the developers really want us to fall in love with. That I think is that's an uphill climb in a trailer. I just don't think that there's a lot of banter, a lot of jokiness.
I feel like I'm watching somebody's Instagram with this trailer. It's so bizarre. And I get it. I kind of get it, but I don't know if I want to play it.
It's like a conversation you're overhearing on the bus that you're kind of into.
Right.
You know, you're like, oh, okay.
I saw you physically kind of cringe thinking about it.
Yeah, the humor is not landing for me in the slightest, but it's right in my wheelhouse. Slice
Yeah.
of life, Bonds,
Yeah.
Life is Strange vibes with the
Episodic.
choices.
It's trailer humor, so
episodic.
none of this is gonna be in the game.
Yeah.
This specific.
Yeah,
scene.
that is the thing. The trailer's super meta. It's like,
Yeah.
we're gearing up to talk about our PlayStation State of Play trailer.
Well, it seems like they're trying to make it seem like the band is real.
Yes.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. Which is a Spinal
Absolutely.
Tap fan.
Yeah.
Please do that. I love
Gorillas.
that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a 5-episode series. So there's one song each. So they are
that's cool.
real. You know, it's like there's different bands that pretend to be one character or something. So it's like it is a band in a loose definition of the term.
I'm
Dialogue
intrigued.
choices, texting, flirting, interactive music videos. One for each song, one per episode.
Super intrigued.
Probably not super long. Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
interesting.
probably not.
Fun characters, but like, anytime you have writing that's like, okay, let's slow this event down for a second. It's like, let's not slow this event down at all. Like,
Let's not.
that's not what you want to do. Bug Snacks, which also elicited a reaction from Daniel Bloodworth. He got saw the B word pop up and got excited. Probably something we expected DLC from. Seemed like a
I
game
don't know that I expected DLC. Maybe a
I did
sequel.
not.
Yeah, sequel, I
Yeah,
thought, maybe.
I think it was kind of geared up to keep things going, and I think that it just had such a kind of surprise hidden gem kind of success from the first reveal. They just nailed it with that song. And I've seen people with like these crazy elaborate physical editions, with some of the characters and all that.
It's free. The Isle of Big Snacks.
Yeah.
2022, free.
Free update.
So
That's
that sequel's
sick.
probably coming. If they're not like trying to push this franchise
Oh,
for
you're right. Yeah.
squeeze a couple, drops out of the lemon.
Wasn't it a PlayStation Plus?
It was.
It was.
PlayStation Plus.
Yep.
They're giving it away.
Yeah.
Hats.
With your subscription.
Hats.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That's
could
so
put
funny,
hats on
dude.
Bug Snacks.
Like the hat update in games is always so funny. You put
put
hats
it-
on everybody.
Just put a hat on it.
Yeah. It's like TF2 when
Destruction
they did that
Derby.
back in the day.
Put a hat on the car. Put a hat on it. Player housing.
Love
Yeah.
player housing. Was this in the original or no?
No.
No.
And there's a
You
whole
had-
village.
you had a
Everybody,
house, but
everybody
you
moves back
Couldn't
in.
do
Yeah.
anything with it.
Okay.
Yep.
I had been meaning to get to it, but haven't. With so many games. Like I think I was reviewing Valhalla at the time when everything came out.
Next gen launch. It was
Yeah.
nuts.
I was buried in Valhalla.
Yeah.
It's
now.
a miracle that we got to review that game out.
Yeah, so I love that this is a free update
Yeah.
that kind of just expands the existing game.
Feel good announcement.
Yeah, so I'm gonna jump in when this launches next year.
Let's examine your backlog, Hubert. Is Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach going to be on that?
Probably not. But this is the best, in my opinion, Five
I was
Nights
gonna
at Freddy's
say
has ever
it
looked.
looks the most interesting to me.
Yeah.
The past ones, what I've seen,
Yeah.
you're actually going around.
We did real quick. We did skip the biggest part of the Bug Snacks expansion. Is that there is actually a whole new section and chapter.
Right. Yeah, the island of
It's
Big
not just
Snacks,
the
and all of
cosmetic
these crazy
updates.
things. Yeah.
Story chapter or player housing?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, see?
But I'm curious how that's going to link in. It's
Right.
like, Do you go back after the story? Is it something that you somehow do in the middle of a playthrough?
Maybe
Might
like
be
How does that
added
work
in.
if you've already beaten it?
like
Right.
like Frozen Wild style.
Sure.
Yeah.
Trying to avoid spoilers here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to start
Yeah, no, I
spitting
don't want
bug
to
snacks information
either,
out
but
there that
you know,
really
like how you get those hooks in
Yeah.
sometimes can make it a little weird.
Yeah.
Like if you don't want to restart the game,
Yeah.
you know.
Totally.
You just say curly fries, and already it's too much. I've said too much. You can get into a mech now in Five Nights at Freddy's,
Yeah.
and like while that was something that we recognize, I could totally imagine like hardcore fans being like, "Well, that just breaks the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
That's just not."
Well, now I'm not
mechs?
scared.
It looked like a disguise rather than an offensive tool.
Oh, maybe
Oh,
In the
good
trailer,
call,
it looked like they
Huber.
were in
Yeah.
the mech and they slid by the other one. They
like
didn't,
you're getting in a locker.
Yeah.
Very bright, very colorful. Like you're supposed to be scared of these things. Like I'm not scared of that crocodile at all. That guy looks awesome. I wanna
Yeah.
go have a beer with that guy.
Yes, the crocodile.
He looks like he's ready to party. But yeah, not something that we talk about a lot on this podcast or here at Easy Eyes, but obviously a very popular franchise that may or may not go on without its creators. We're kind of having a little separation anxiety. Death's Doors on PlayStation.
Yay.
Good game. Go
Game's
play
sick.
it. I don't know if there's anything more to say.
Go to
Like
Contender.
haptic stuff maybe, or
What?
haptic stuff on the
Oh,
PlayStation.
maybe.
I
Now,
just
or-
read a tweet actually.
I mean, it could
Shu.
be there, but yeah.
Shu said it's going to have really good haptics.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
A little crow feet.
Kart Rider Drift. You can register for that beta now.
Oh boy.
This
Free
is
to
a
play.
This is quote, and I love discovering these. This is a free-to-play title in a popular franchise with over 300 million players. And all of us were like, "What Rider?" Just
How many of those 300 million are bots, like just farming currency?
currency farming bots. It's so apocalyptic, you know?
Yeah.
That's so like
Dude, buying gold MMO style.
I just stick to the Matrix, like the human beings give out this many energy, you know, BTUs of body heat. It's these arms just getting Kart Rider currency. Don't have Ben here to talk about King of Fighters 15, which he noticed from 2 bars of music. There was this one, or no, it was a title.
The text.
Yeah, it's
the
the
text.
The font.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
the
it's the
defy all expectation.
Right.
That's King Fighters.
Dolores was announced, new character.
Looked cool.
There's gonna be a beta test on PS4 and PS5.
Yeah. With the training mode, offline training mode.
A lot of these come to PS4 as well. Death Verse, We Are Okay. Don't know about Bugsnax, probably.
Death's
right?
Door.
Yeah, because it's already
Death
on
Store is
PS4,
PS4, PS5, and King of Fighters as well. Offline training, Ben erupted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we know the story behind this?
Well, I mean, it's just like a lot of those fighting game betas. You don't know how to play. You get thrown in there with just match other players, and you're
Yeah.
like, well, I want to experiment and kind of figure stuff out without getting my ass kicked. So
Right.
it's a good thing to add.
November 19th.
Stack Day. Battlefield Final Fantasy 14.
Jeez.
First Class Trouble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Oh, this
it's just like Among Us with people. It feels
Yeah.
like I don't know.
It's like Among Us
Us
with like Hitman graphics in the BioShock universe. Like it's this
Sure.
really weird blend
or
of
XCOM.
aesthetics.
Yeah,
Very weird.
like kind of We Happy View vibes a little bit there. Of like it isn't real. There's kind of
right.
something's off about this world, and just like subterfuge
It does
and
feel like a
trusting
space station
people
again,
and
just a more realistic space station, right?
What are the robots called? Personoids?
personoids.
Personal.
So you know you got to who's the mole? Basically, you're trying to get to the end of
Blood.
this
blood
objectives,
every
but you
time.
don't know who to trust people. And we had a good match yesterday, didn't we? Yeah, we did. You didn't have that match, did you? I don't believe it. We're developers, and believe me, we had a fun match yesterday. It's like, yeah, you're playing this game 500 times in one day to try to get it better. Like, that match, stop it. But could be interesting, and it's interesting. I wonder what the Among Us vibe is about this, because I know a lot of Among Us fans were salty about the Fortnite collaboration. The Fortnite basically copying them, and now there's hopefully a collaboration
Right.
coming. But yeah, I wonder if Among Us fans are like looking forward to different opportunities that kind of utilize the same setup, or they're like, stop copying this game I like.
Right.
Well, social deduction games are no new thing. They've been
True.
around for 100 years.
Yeah,
so-
werewolves and all that.
Yeah, werewolf and all that. But I don't know. This looked cute. It looked a
Yeah.
little AA, but we'll see. Like it could
Yeah.
be really fun.
PS Plus for this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
You
oh
can
yeah,
try
PS
it,
Plus
yeah.
for
Yeah,
sure.
that's
That's
true.
gonna help. That's
That'll
gonna help.
definitely
definitely
be huge
help.
for them. You either get the
Fill
PS
up those
Plus or that
lobbies.
Game Pass.
Yeah.
Star Ocean, the Divine Force,
Oh, boy.
Okay.
2022.
Okay. Star Ocean, okay? I've
Okay.
played 2 of them.
Yeah?
I bailed on both of them.
Okay.
I played 4 and 5.
No.
hated the characters in all of these. Just
Which
out.
systems were those?
I played it on PS3, then PS4.
Got it.
I did not think this series would come back for a while, and it was a while, I guess. And God damn, it looks like Star Ocean. These characters, like I really dislike the way Star Ocean characters look. They do not look good to me. But I will say there is a much heavier emphasis on kind of exploration, the Xenoblade kind of vibe. Someone said, and I was like, hey, that's kind of a cool direction for the series. So
Doesn't quite have the frame rate for that.
no,
but,
not yet. It's not out.
Buckle.
Yes, it did not look good right now. It's not out, but
Buckle.
it's a
His
step
buckling and
forward.
the environments were very
Yeah.
bland
It's a
already.
step forward. Yeah, it's a step forward, and I'm
Hubert-
happy for the fans.
Hubert, if you have a shot of a character flying into a city that runs at 5 frames per second, wait to introduce that city later,
Leave
right?
that
Just
on the
get-
cutting room
Put it
floor.
in the
Yeah.
trailer.
Yeah.
Put it in the trailer.
Put it in
for
the trailer?
sure. Yeah.
They did.
Is it
That's
not?
what I'm saying.
So it's not going to do damage. You don't think?
No,
People are
no,
going
no,
to see that and be like, mm-hmm.
It's encouraging. Like with some games like Earth Defense Force, right? Like you want to see that bad frame rate. It's a selling point.
But I like how the frame rate gets worse as the trailer goes on. They just show like the more.
Like a sweary game?
Look at all the stuff we're dumping into
Yeah.
this.
Oh, okay.
But this is a new Star Ocean game.
Yep.
Not a porter, not something that came out in.
New.
Okay. And we didn't know about it until today.
I did not know about it.
I
didn't
did
know
not
about it.
I did not know about it.
I got baited because I thought it was Final Fantasy 16 for a second. That
They
logo,
did-
I was like, oh, yeah. Then just they show some like weird can thing on the ground. I'm like, that's not it.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know.
It's so funny that I imagine there's like most companies in this business don't realize what their name does. Like don't.
Yeah, that
From Software,
logo.
I think does. I think From Software understands
They
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure
that
did.
if Pure Black suddenly goes to the white From Software logo,
Oh.
like things happen. But I don't think Square Enix realizes what's going on.
Maybe they do, and they just want.
We're just gonna show up to a Sony event and just flash our logo around, make people dream for all
Yeah.
of 2.5 seconds, and then finally, Little Devil Inside.
Yay!
Which I'm looking forward to getting your takes on it because I love absolutely everything I'm seeing about this entire
Looked
game.
phenomenal.
Looks
and could
really
go on and on.
good.
I'm really excited about this one for
No
sure.
date though, delayed from July this year. They thought it might come out. I remember it was like the end of July too that we did. We were
Last
like
year?
almost at the end, and we're like, this is supposed to happen this month, and we're like,
Right.
nah, we don't know, and still don't know. Announced June 11th, 2020 at the showcase for the PlayStation 5.
Yeah. Got like an idea of what you actually do in it now, though, kind of.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Go around hunting monsters, dude. You're just like a Witcher. Hell yeah.
It looks so cool. Love the perspectives.
The train, the JRPG map,
Yeah.
dude. Oh yeah.
And then zooming all the way in, it just looks. The haunted mansion they went to looks so cool.
And he had like the party with him later on.
Yeah,
Yeah. This game looks cool.
like on the train, all cozy.
Mm-hmm.
Game
all
looks
the
good.
all the little details and
Yeah.
What was interesting, the first trailer we saw like the guy sending him on these missions.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you're getting
Right.
missions
Yeah.
from different people or if there's like the Charlie to Charlie's Angels. There's like the rich
The
guy
guy.
who's just sitting in the house all day and like we're gonna because we kind of got his perspective. And I wonder if that was like just to introduce us to the story or if like
Right.
that's a thing. He's like we're gonna be writing letters back and forth or something or because I wonder if like one of the big points of it is like let's establish the space, like the distance you have to travel to go to the lengths.
Right.
I wonder if like that rich guy's gonna be the villain by the end of the story, where he's just like, I'm tired of doing all this stuff for you.
Your final target is me.
Yeah, they were talking about. I was looking at the PlayStation blog stuff, and they're talking about the world map as being kind of the big thing they were showing off.
Yeah.
And yeah, you will have like some events that are forced and others that are optional.
He bumped into some
doing
people
every
and wanted
quest.
to
Yeah.
talk to him.
So
He's
it-
like,
Fishing, cooking.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, well, and like one of the things they showed that like you don't, you basically do while you're still on the map screen is like parting the sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you come across that old shopkeeper, and then it like zooms in. It's like,
Yep.
okay, you see this from more up close.
Fingers crossed for a good economy in this game. Really
Yeah,
want
well,
that.
that's the thing. Is it Brad? This game didn't look that hard. We never saw him get taken out. Like,
mean, yeah.
There's no there's no HUD. I don't know if that's intentional. I would imagine this game would probably have a very minimalist HUD.
We didn't see a ton of combat already, so I don't know. Yeah.
We saw more in the
Yeah, we saw
trailer, I
it,
They
think.
do talk about refueling your vehicle at
Yeah.
stations, so that's
Whoa.
interesting.
Lots of stealth stuff. There were like some shots of bosses creeping up on him, and he's like hiding behind a rock. In the
Yeah.
first trailer,
Cool
so
stuff. Yeah.
just looks really unique. Looks like potentially like so many moments that you head out and you're like, I have no idea what I'm going to find. I have no
Yeah.
idea. Be neat too if it also had like a Witcher component where it's like I'm sending you after this thing. We don't know what it is. We have this weird sketch of it, and then like so it's
Good luck.
kind of the stuff where he gets back to town and like no one would believe me. The stuff that I've seen.
Yeah, it's
'cause
awesome, dude.
No one bothers to travel that far.
Protagonist name is Billy.
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 They say regardless of mission content, you are free to roam the world map. Travel on foot, on mule, in vehicles, and on train.
He had a donkey at a
did.
point. Yeah, that was awesome.
He's like dragging it up the
Yeah,
mountain.
this game looks delightful.
Yeah, I cannot wait for this.
Yeah, and they're saying traveling on foot is slowest, but you can go on foot to places that you wouldn't be able to go on vehicles. So
It looks like the rich guy from the first trailer is the guy that's following him
Yeah.
around in this trailer.
yeah, that's what I thought
Before he
too.
stabs you in
Yeah.
the back.
Also, like, you go to
Yeah.
so many, like, they're outrunning a sandstorm, they're on a frozen mountaintop, they're underwater. Like,
Yeah.
You do so many different things with this.
Kind of Oregon Trail vibes. It just looks. That's a world I want to explore very badly.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
But
The game
holy
is-
cow, no date.
Game is not about leveling up the character as quickly as you can or speed running through all the content. Designed to try to touch the player's emotions by giving you enough time and space and allow them to take in
Yep.
the various
Slow
atmosphere.
burn,
Take
baby.
it in.
No fast travel.
Yes.
Specifically-
Nice.
Oh.
Ooh, nice.
Love no fast travel.
I wonder how the checkpoints are going to be.
Love that.
You get taken out by a boss.
Should
I
play
wonder.
Dragon's
Start back in
Dogma.
town.
Fast travel limited.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
Yeah,
my jam.
we're all
very
hyped.
excited about that. But I mean, it's October. They don't have a date, so that means there's no way it's happening next year. They don't seem confident about that at all. It seems like next year. Next year.
I feel like this is one of those games that could be next
Whatever.
year.
Yeah.
They're not gonna say anything until it's like almost ready.
Yeah.
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 They're gonna tell us it's coming out in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I
agree.
yeah,
I
or
agree,
like
bud.
they'll be like at Game Awards, they'll be like right now.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
could be.
I agree.
Oh,
Keely
don't give me
snagged it.
hope.
I also kind of get encouraged when like something like this vanishes for a little bit and then comes back and looks
Yeah.
fine, and you just get a sense like, oh, this is
They're working away.
Sony supporting, this developer is making a very interesting project and they're gonna let it cook, and like, yeah, so,
Yeah.
but I want it.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
made a bit of money, kind of popular. Do you remember the developer Pokemon Go?
Nintac.
Niantic.
Niantic.
Nintac.
Nintac.
Tic Tacs.
Tic Tacs. Niantic.
Niantic.
That was close. Close enough.
John Hankey.
I saw the word in my
I wish
my
that
brain.
was real.
John Hankey, the founder and CEO of Niantic, came out along with Shigeru Miyamoto.
Oh.
You know him, you love him. To announce
Sure.
Pikmin Bloom. There has been a fair amount of AR experiences. Boy, what was the AR thing that got shut down? There was some franchise. So we got the Witcher one, we got Harry Potter one. There's another one. It was like Minecraft or something. The Minecraft one's probably still around. But it was a franchise. I was like, that's a stretch to maybe push that into the AR world. So a lot of people have been trying to recapture that Pokemon Go magic. No one will because there's just Pokemon's the biggest.
Should be a Batman one.
But this is a real.
AR
What would you
Catan?
do in the Batman AR
Stop crimes
in a
real
city
life.
that's not Gotham?
Stop crimes, Jones.
Batman's gonna get in the Batwing and fly all the way over to Florida, wherever you are, to help you.
Were you
Let's work
thinking
on
of-
that. We'll work on
Yeah.
it after the podcast.
Were you
Spitball
thinking
that.
of
Yeah.
Settlers of Catan, Jones? AR Catan.
It might, yeah, Catan. I was
By
like,
Niantic, yeah.
Catan. Yeah. So I could see some, them being like, hey, let's try this thing. But a lot of these are about capturing. They're about fighting. This is Pikmin. Obviously not a franchise is going to bring in as much money, regardless of platform or genre, than Pokemon does. But I am fascinated by it. Do you know anything about Pikmin Bloom? Am I going to have to explain this game?
I saw some of it.
What do you know about
I
Pikmin
saw the
Bloom so
AR
far?
thing with the Pikmin running around like a dog. They had some guy like with his camera out, and I was like, "Oh, that's easy pass for me. Not into this."
Blood, do you know anything about Pikmin Bloom? I'll run it by you. I got all the information.
Most
here.
of what I know is just from what you've told me. Just walking around the neighborhood and,
Yeah.
and letting flowers bloom around you. Yeah.
So Pokemon Go is mostly about like the Pokestops and the gyms, like a big thing. So like if a lot of people were upset they weren't near a gym or stoked because they like lived on one. And so it's a lot about like you want to go to a specific spot, or if you hear that you can catch Pokemon somewhere, you want to go to that spot. I made it to the location. I'm catching Pokemon here. This game's about distance. Doesn't matter where you walk, just keep on going. In the trailer a lot, they show them counting the steps. As you go, you will find more Pikmin. As you pull them out, you'll have more Pikmin behind you. The more Pikmin, the more flowers you will plant along your walk.
Okay.
And you will actually affect the big map. So if you live in a big city, there's going to be flowers all over the place. Hopefully. Niantic hopes that a lot of people are going to be playing this. Free game. But like in my neighborhood, I got to walk, Sophie at night. And so I could see myself like going out and walking and bringing up and being like, well, no one's been down this street yet. I'm going to go down this street. So I like it because it's all
Then
right.
you
Like
find out why no one's going.
I don't
I
have
was gonna say it's some sketch alley.
when last we found him. What is it? Andrew Goldfarb like walked off a dock playing Pokemon Go, just right into the water.
dude.
Like,
That's so funny.
everybody be careful.
Yeah. Eyes up.
But it seems, just that whole concept seems kind of chill. You can find objects, they pick them up and carry them. So by the time you get home or you're like, I'm done with my walk, it's like, what'd you find? And then at the end of the day, you can kind of like Breath of the Wild. You can be like, where'd I go? And they'll bring up the GPS map and you went here. And in your city, this spot's really populated with flowers or whatever. So yeah, I'm not bringing this because it was like, one of the super major headlines. It was a game being announced. But I'm curious what you think about Pikmin as a strategy for AR. And how this will do for Niantic.
I was just thinking about, is this the Pikmin 4 Miyamoto was talking about all those years ago?
No,
Is this it?
It's not. It's definitely not.
Miyamoto was in this video and did not mention Pikmin 4.
Never
Didn't even say
was
stay tuned.
Pikmin 4.
He was like talking about what the Pikmin were too, and I bet Pikmin 4 fans were like, I know what Pikmin are.
I know!
That is interesting to think of, though, because it's not, like, Pikmin is not a franchise that I think goes that wide outside of Nintendo fans. And
of course.
so, like Pokemon, like everybody knows what Pokemon is. So he has all kinds of different touch points for Pokemon. So you can watch the cartoon, you can play the card game. Maybe you played the Game Boy game, maybe you didn't, But Pikmin, it's like, well, you've played this obscure game that's only been on GameCube and Wii U. Now there's a Switch game, the Switch port. But it's just, I'm curious whether somebody would look at this and be like, oh, yeah, I like flowers.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
It's just funny that like this is one of the biggest money-making video game things that's ever existed, and it's weird to have the CEO come out and be like, I like walking. It's like, and making a mint. So like it's strange. Is this really just fulfilling your need for, he's like, you go walking, it's great for your mental health, it's great for your physical health. It's like, so you're not expecting to make a lot of money on this? Like what do you think Niantic's goals are for are they just going to keep pumping out Nintendo franchises, or Dr. Mario didn't work so well?
Keep trying.
What are their expectations?
Keep throwing a dart
do you
at that
think?
board, dude. See what sticks.
Seems like low risk, high reward here.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen? You lose a little time and money. Probably these can't be that expensive to make.
Yeah, I
I
think
think for an AR, I have no.
I have no
there's
clue, but-
you think of Pokemon Go and how many different variants of Pokemon there are in this, like red, blue, yellow,
Yeah.
black, pink, done.
Yeah,
maybe they'll get
I think-
interesting. Like you can put outfits on them. That's like a lot where the microtransaction stuff comes. And just like Pokemon Go, I'm sure there's like boosts and potions or
Pikmin
whatever.
boosts.
Yeah.
I just
Make
don't.
them glow.
I don't see the appeal personally, because at least in Pokemon, you're like collecting them.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
You're like, oh, I got Charizard. Sick.
So, I mean, planting real flowers on your walk would be cool,
Right.
and like having real flowers sprout
A lot
up
of, lot of
everywhere.
seeds though,
Neighbors.
and then you don't see them
Where do
grow
these-
right away. You got to
where
go
does
back.
Rose
Yeah,
bush come
Rossi,
from?
like just weird digital flowers on it. It just I don't see it. I don't see the.
I don't get
it. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get this. I don't get it.
I messaged Hewer. I walked by your apartment building last night 5 times to put some flowers in your neighborhood. You're
Yeah.
like, Jones, I don't have this game. I can't see
They're
these
there.
flowers
see
you're
these
talking
They're
about.
there, though, buddy.
Yeah.
I want you to know that.
And that's what Miyamoto said. He's like, these Pikmin have been around this whole time. Finally, with this app, you can see them and you can interact with them.
Yeah, it's this weird, bizarre thing because at the one hand, it's like, okay, I get sort of the motivation. It's like, let's make something that like actually, will help people be more healthy and encourage people to go out for walks. And, I guess probably send you notifications and bug you like, hey, you want to go for a walk? Go for a walk. It's almost dark or whatever.
Get out.
Yeah. But then at the same time, it's almost like, could you like start the app and then look at it after you're done walking? Because to me, like, so it's just in your pocket and then you check it after you go home.
I think so because they did highlight like one thing you can do is at the end of the day before you go to bed, like look where you went that day.
Okay.
And look what we. And that also is a little nervous because you're represented by your me in game, and I don't think you can see names, but you can see other people walking around.
Right.
And I remember in Pokemon Go, some parents were like, I'm not a huge fan of other people being like, you like Pokemon. Like, let's battle.
Well, and this is almost like, is there a breadcrumb trail going to your house?
Right,
Like,
yeah. So, but then again, like, I like to walk. Like, I wouldn't mind just, I'm sure Disneyland is going to be flower heaven. There's gonna be stuff all over the place. I'm curious to adapt
Right.
this game already to my lifestyle.
Right,
and
so
it's
that's the
free.
thing. So like going to Disneyland, walking around, okay, no big deal, no risks. Like walking around your neighborhood, other people see your trail. I don't know.
Again, I sent you a text. Blood, I looped your house 4 times last night. I've been in your neighborhood. It's fine.
Flowers.
Made some new
everywhere.
friends. Flowers everywhere. I spelled your name. We got to see this week the campaign of Halo Infinite.
Finally.
A 6-minute, 20-second trailer. We previously just seen cutscenes and stuff like that. That went into
No, we saw a gameplay demonstration a year
we did
ago.
see we did see
year.
gameplay, but it didn't really explain what we're looking. We saw him jump around and shoot some dudes, but they didn't necessarily say, like, here's how the world works. Here's kind of the goal. Like, yeah, there's enemies and stuff like that. How do we, before we go into the details of what they talked about, where were you with Halo Infinite before this trailer launched? Where are you at now?
I was more concerned, I guess, because I was like, dude, it's been a long time since they've shown this campaign. I'm worried about this
Right.
thing. And I saw it, I was like, oh, cool. Looks
Were
fun.
you up at 6 a.m. to
No.
catch it live?
No.
No?
No, I'm not
6 a.m.?
No.
6 a.m.?
Yeah, I had to post the Guardians of the Galaxy review, man. Yeah, thanks. But I wouldn't
Isla,
watch
you
it
watched
then.
this at 6 a.m., right? Yeah. Isla?
Wait, was that today?
No.
That was
Monday.
Monday.
Oh.
Yeah, it was days ago.
I love that, yeah.
I'm watching it right now.
I love that on Cuppa Jones. I was like, that's happening sometime. And then Blood messaged me after. He's like, it already happened. Like, when you had said it was happening, it had
Yeah.
finished.
Like Brett said, I'm also less worried. I thought this was a good showing. But personally, I'm just really tired of the Cortana storyline. I feel like I say that every time I talk about Halo. I there's just no stakes at all for me. Like no stakes whatsoever.
It's kind of that comic book vibe where, like, you miss a character when they're gone, but they're probably coming back at some point.
It's
Right.
just like too much Cortana.
And I didn't play 4 and 5, so I don't know.
Well, it's
I
like-
can't speak to where she's at.
I mean, I don't
I've
remember 4 or 5.
played 4 when it came out, and I have not played 5 yet. So I kind of had that weird little bit of
I
a
mean,
gap.
you
as
got
well.
Cortana, and they're talking. You got like a Cortana 2.0 now, like a new one already.
Yeah, she has
Who looks
no
similar
freaking
already.
clue what's
Rogue
going on.
Cortana.
I don't know.
Cortana that like fractured into multiple Cortanas. Like
We're not lore experts, so I don't know. Could be cool, but
I'm pretty tired.
no
of
idea.
It'll be fun for me because I haven't really played a campaign all the way through before.
There you
I've played
go.
like parts of them. So since I'm getting this Xbox that is
Right.
themed for this game, I might as well play it.
Might as well keep it
So-
downloaded on there for a little bit at least.
Oh yeah, I mean I like Halo, so who knows?
I will say, okay, so I don't care about the story that much, but
Yeah.
I'm
It
really
looks
curious how it is just going through this world and exploring
Right.
it, and if like you'll have incentive to actually do it, and if it'll feel satisfying going through the world. Like, I don't know if you're going to talk about the details of what they do, but there's like you can
Zeta
get-
Halo.
You can get like vehicles, so they have like a ship kind of just dropping, and it's really funny. It just kind of plops on the
Yeah.
ground.
It
That
was
was
a,
so
it was a
funny.
strong
So
crunch.
It's like, oh, okay, you can get your Warhog, and there's like some. Looks like you have like a talent tree almost, or some abilities you can upgrade. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
it's some RPG dopamine
They,
Jones
they
would
said
be
it's
into.
more equipment based, so you would like level up a piece of equipment and then get a new piece of equipment.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't necessarily ditch the old one. So
It's
they,
like-
they say this doesn't happen in PvP, but if you're playing in the campaign,
Yeah.
there's a lot of like, oh, I'll bring this
Like-
equipment set for this one particular
It's
task.
not blowing my mind, but it's different.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that.
For Halo, for
yeah,
sure,
it's
yeah.
really different.
I just saw that at the end of the YouTube video, I had subtitles on, and there was a subtitle for the Xbox logo when the Xbox sound happened that just says Xbox sound,
Nice.
and I'm like, that's not a very helpful subtitle at all, is it?
they gave Craig a beard. Bearded now.
Was he not?
Oh,
before?
Craig, yeah.
Is
that's
that
all.
the human guy?
No,
Craig's
No.
the brute.
yeah,
The human guy doesn't have a name.
Right.
Yeah.
He's just the pilot
Oh, the
for now.
grunt.
At
I'm
least on
invested in
IMDb.
the pilot.
Brute.
Yeah, he just says
The
that.
pilot is the most interesting part of this entire story. I said that last
right.
trailer.
How many
too,
weapons do you need?
And I still think
Because he's like concerned about stuff.
and new, and it's just a fresh take. That's why I'm just like so
Do you
tired.
think he'll
of-
be like sitting back at the ship
yeah,
and he's like your
gonna
hub
be your
guy?
dude hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
He
the
really
man in the
interests me.
chair.
and he like drops off vehicles and stuff. For
Yeah,
you.
he's gonna be helping
very
you out.
cool. Love
Yeah.
that. Love
Well,
that.
he also Huber might be kind of a recognition that like the Cortana's kind of getting stale. At least the
Yeah, and he
Cortana storyline.
humanizes
So it's like
everything.
let's bring in some.
Yeah,
of
he's
these
got to
real-
like talk Chief, like, Chief,
Yeah.
you're out of line.
He's got the urgency and,
Yeah.
and the stakes there. So yeah,
Yeah.
excited about his whole plot line.
Well, and then the new AI, which did they have a name or they
I
just call it
forgot.
a weapon?
The
Yeah.
weapon.
The
yeah.
weapon, yeah.
Um,
Cool
but
name.
it,
Yeah.
it's funny though because she's just. they made me, and I don't know why. Tell me what's going on. It's like, is that person a friend? He's like, no.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be a friend. It's not.
I'm bummed there's no co-op campaign still for
Yeah.
now, but I'm really excited to hop in and play, shoot some dudes.
I wonder if they're going to take any efforts post-launch
Yeah.
to reconcile
Yeah.
that was late. So it's not
Right.
like, hey, here's co-op, start over, and you're like, well, I already
Right.
beat it. You know, they're like, we know you've beaten it already, so here's a
Well,
fun
their
thing. Like, you
campaigns
can
are
do.
so good about like
New Game Plus
difficulties,
or- yeah.
like
Yeah.
hidden things, and that they're like Halo always nails difficulty settings. Like legendary mode is tough, so doing that, like maybe saving that for
Sure.
co-op, your legendary run, you know,
Yeah.
You
Like
play through
Tsushima,
on-
new difficulty option. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Oh,
could be
yeah,
tempting.
always nice.
I'm just very curious because they did again talk about this being the longest campaign.
Yeah.
It's called
Biggest,
Infinite.
yeah.
It's got a bunch of bases, you know, like Just Cause or Far Cry. This actually reminded me more of Just Cause. It was like all these people saying Far Cry, and I'm like, this looks like Just Cause to me right now.
Yeah.
The grappling
grappling
hook,
hook,
they're flying
sure,
around up
yeah.
in the air and stuff. So yeah, it makes me kind of wonder how much like post game this game is going to have going on. You know, rather than like the traditional like
Yeah.
run it again. Like,
Yeah.
are you gonna run it again if it's 25 or 30 hours long? You know, it's
Or if-
also, too,
yeah.
they said the enemies kind of respond in a way of like bolstering their security. There was a line about that, and it showed kind of one of the grunts like throwing a shield or something down. So it's like, I wonder if, you know, you're attacking bases in a region, if they like reinforce it. So I want to see how the Halo.
the more aggressive you are,
right.
Like
I
that.
want to
think-
see how the world
I-
responds to Chief.
I think that's where this whole thing fell flat for me. To where it's like I watched it and then it was over and it was like, okay, because again, last time, even though there was all these issues and popping and things that needed to be addressed, they were actually still they were playing and walking you through a demo. Whereas with this, it's just voiceover, become Master Chief multiple times, and you know, kind of hinting at the story, but not really. And cut to this, cut to that, cut to that, and it really didn't feel like I was getting a good sense of like, okay, how does this play out
Right.
really?
Yeah.
Like you get little hints of it, right? You get the base, you get the map screen, you get this upgrade screen where it's like, oh, okay, you get all these
she
different
lists
categories.
enemies. The Spartan Killer Jago Radomni.
Looked
Skimmers.
looked cool.
Did look cool.
Yeah, it did look
Some
cool.
bounty hunters.
Did look
Shield
cool.
and sword, yeah. But you're playing right into my hand's blood because I did not like the voiceover in this trailer at all.
Do you think there'll be a spin-off anything where you play as that bounty hunter and take out Spartans?
That's a fun idea.
Comic.
Sick.
It'll be a
maybe.
comic.
Like, I want to know more about that guy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because it's like, what's happening? Is Cortana talking to me?
No, that's the weapon. The weapon.
No, in the trailer.
The
What is her
VO,
name?
the
Jen Taylor?
narration.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
Jen Taylor's like talking to me, the Xbox owner,
Right.
Yeah.
as Cortana about the sequel to the franchise she's in? Or is it Jen Taylor talking to me? Or is it Jen Taylor talking to Master Chief? Or is it Cortana talking to the pilot? Who's what? You know?
Talking to players.
So make up your mind. Like, get a narrator that just is some person I don't know and have them tell me what's going on with Halo. Or have some cool script where Cortana's talking to Master Chief and being like, look, here's what's going on. Like, here's this planet. Here's what we need to do. And Master Chief's like, great. It's this weird middle thing.
Right.
kind
it's
of
like-
tries to do both.
Halo's important because I'm Cortana. And it's like, why am I not excited then when you said that?
Yeah.
Like, why does it seem more just kind of... Seems nervous.
Yeah.
Seems a little more... It's like you said, I'm not into the Cortana
Not
storyline.
into
First
it.
line in this trailer.
Yeah.
Halo's always been about Master Chief and Cortana.
Yeah.
Like, and millions of other
It's like
things.
they were trying to avoid Star Wars, you know? Like, Star Wars trying to be different. It didn't work out for a lot of people, so
Yeah.
they started playing
I
it
mean,
safe
this
again.
game, yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you remember the second level in Halo Combat Evolved. Boom!
Yeah.
Here's the game, baby.
Yeah.
That is sort of a
But it's
funny
like,
thing.
hey, cool.
Yeah.
To me because there's that line and then there's also this line about Master Chief has always been a hero or whatever. And so both of those kind of feel like we're just kind of wipe over some of these plot points that we've had in the past, right? Because like Halo 5, like you know, like Chief was sort of on
Renegade.
the run. Yeah. And it's like, well, Chief wasn't exactly the hero there, was he? I mean, in hindsight, maybe, sure. But it's like...
yeah.
And then, you know, and we've had Halo games that don't even have Chief. So Halo is always about Chief and Cortana. What about those games?
Huber and I like to joke it's the same vibe as Arkham Knight, be the Batman. You know, it's like the Arkham Knight advertising, you know, pretended like we've never had a Batman game before ever, and they finally did it. Like, oh boy, yeah, the Batmobile. Whoa. Yeah.
As harsh as I am on the story, 10 out of 10 excited for multiplayer. And still excited to play this campaign. I want to see how the open world
I mean,
is.
the
So
grappling
excited.
the grappling hook looks fantastic.
Halo
Like,
will always be top
grabbing
5
weapons.
co-op games ever made. Like, super excited, just really tired of the narrative direction. And that is based on 343's last 2 games. Like, Halo 4 and 5 did not connect with the narrative at all. So I'm just going off the past and what I've seen from this one. So I'm very hesitant for all of the narrative, but really excited to just play it.
Yeah.
The other thing aside from the grappling hook that I am intrigued and curious about is enemies. I feel like they just sort of scratched the surface enough to show you some new enemies and some like kind of like mid-boss type enemies there, and I think that's good because you got your like you see all the classic guys like right away. But they mention Forerunners. You know, they talk about some of these other stuff, and so I think it really gives it a good place to give you what you want out of Halo, and then hopefully mix in some new things. Whereas I think 4 kind of botched that a little bit. Like it was a good game, but just like what is even happening? Where am I? Yeah.
There was one shot where, because I imagine you find like other random encampments too. I'm excited as an open world fan. You know, I'm super jazzed about that. But there's one specific bit where I think there's soldiers that are being held captive by the Banished.
Yep.
Yeah.
You take them out, they get all excited. You get in the Warthog, they all hop in with you, and you go tearing off. And it's like, that's Halo 1. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that. I remember, you know, my buddy at the time, co-founder of GameTrust.com, Jeff Groats, who was like, watch this. When you get the Warthog, watch. And they like got in and we're like, let's go. And just hearing your fellow soldiers talk, like, it was so mind-blowing. And so it's neat in 2021, the attempts to recapture that magic are still exciting. And
Chief says, "You're safe now," and then drives off a cliff with them. It's hilarious.
But those kind of like Grand Theft Auto-ish, just chaotic moments, like I wonder if you'll kind of tune out the story, and that's the stuff that'll really be memorable at the end of it. Like, you know, potentially during GOTY discussions, you know, we'll be like, hey, remember that one thing? Like, that never happened to me. I never went to that base. Like,
The trailer gave me the vibe too that like each one of these side things isn't gonna be Ubisoft zone out checklist clear it. It just from the trailer, my hope and kind of the vibe I got was that each one of these is like an event. Like hopefully they're not littering the entire Halo. Hopefully it's like every time you come to a base, it's maybe optional, but like you gotta work it, taking it down. It's an event.
it's funny because Far Cry is like, you know, these poor people that live here, and this, you know, this guy's, you know, got this tobacco drug that he's trying to, you know, just crushing all these people to try to do it. Whereas like this, you know, Zeta Halo, it's like just burn it to the ground. I don't care. You know, just reduce it to rubble. Let's beat these people.
That's always been my impression. I mean, like I said, I've never sat down and like played one all the way through, but like playing it at friends' houses and stuff, the impression I always had of Halo is that the story is just the minimal glue to explain why things are happening, and then you just do fun stuff. And like this looks like that. Like you said, the story seems like it'll just recede in the background and it'll be cool places and shooting.
People love the Halo
Yeah,
story,
a lot
though.
of fans.
Oh, really?
A lot of
Okay.
people love Halo story.
People are
Do not
typing
underestimate-
right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, I mean, I've
angry
never played them,
comments.
so that's just my experience
Yeah.
of it. Has
Lots
been
of
like
lore.
That. Okay, that's cool.
But yeah, I think to that point though, you know, Halo's not a stealth game.
Nope.
You know, you could avoid, you know, and snipe a little bit, but I think some of those moments where like you just like grab onto something, hop over the wall,
yeah.
throw a
Subtlety
grenade,
is
shoot
not in
another
this
guy in the
stuff.
head
Yeah.
while you're midair, you know, and the fact that they're, you know, their combat AI is usually like really good at responding to that and pushing you.
Such good
And there is a lot of
difficulties.
mobility that was shown in this too. You know, like
Yeah.
you drop the shield and then you kind of like strafe boosted around the back of a brute and then like hit him with the hammer. Like
Battlefield call out.
The Banshee
rocket
thing?
launcher in midair.
totally,
And then the Banshee going by, it grapples him
Yeah.
to get back in. It's
Yeah.
like, okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
I can
That's
just
cool.
see the 343 dev was like, you know, the Battlefield shot? I got shot last night.
Yeah.
You got you.
I think
Coming
it's
soon. That game is so
I think it's
soon.
good momentum. I think that's
What
the last
the-
thing I want to say about Halo is that, you
Yeah.
know, all joking aside, narration,
5
script,
weeks.
whatever, tone, I think
in a pretty
all
good
the
spot.
ducks are kind of lining up, and I
Yeah.
hope it does well for them.
Yeah.
They sold enough of that fridge. Hopefully they'll sell enough of Halo.
Few franchises command this level of power upon release. You know, like I can count on one hand. It's like Mario, Zelda, Final Fantasy, Halo.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Big release. Let's go.
Like there were even Halo moments. Like I don't know if I necessarily understood everything that was happening or like was that invested in the story, but it was still majestic. Like I would hear the music and go to these gigantic structures, see stuff spinning around or big space battles happening, and like they do scale really well. So that'll be. I'm gonna play that game. Darn it! I'm gonna
Same.
jump back into that franchise. I'm excited.
Excited for Jones's open world analysis.
Stay tuned. And now, a word from our sponsors. Oh, yeah. Hello Tushy, the modern bidet company, washes away even the messiest of poops, leaving you with a better clean than toilet paper. I gotta admit, I don't rinse every time. I don't do the Tushy every single time because sometimes you go in, it's just quick. You got a quick thing. I'm glad I took care of that before I went on my drive, but that wasn't like a giant deal. But then you do have those giant deals. You do have those things where you think, man, I'm here, I'm alone in this room. Somebody help me. That's when Hello Tushy comes in. That's why literally that moment where I'm like, yeah, this is a Hello Tushy moment. Hello Tushy has never let me down. Is your butt clean enough to sit on the couch naked? No? Get a Hello Tushy. The modern bidet that attaches directly to your toilet in under 10 minutes. You wipe things with diapers. I know you've sat on your couch naked before. Did you get poop on it? That's the question. If you got poop on any other part of your body, would you just wipe it off? No, you'd wash it. Stop wiping. Start washing with Hello Tushy, the modern bidet that attaches directly to your toilet. Hello Tushy is the modern bidet for people who poop. Just poop, wash, pat dry. The Hello Tushy bidet features washing your bum with water for a better clean than toilet paper. Washing with water is less irritating and more soothing for your beehole. It's easy to install, attaches to the toilet in under 10 minutes, no electricity or plumbing needed. All of those are true. Using a Tushy bidet reduces your toilet paper use by 80%, saving you money, and it is eco-friendly and stylish. Hello Tushy has a full product line to help make the restroom the best room, including the Tushy Ottoman, the sleekest toilet stool designed to help you poop at 100% of the time, rated #1 by the Wirecutter, the new Tushy brush, the only toilet brush with disposable scrubbing pads, so you can use a clean brush every time. I admit my scrubbing pad right now does not look good. And more. Start washing with a Hello Tushy bidet for a better clean. Go to hellotushy.com/easyallies to get 10% off plus free shipping. This is a special offer for our listeners at hellotushy.com/easyallies for 10% off. And after you buy and install your Hello Tushy, show it off. Tag them at Hello Tushy on Instagram.
Those Hello Tushy ads are always such a roller coaster.
I love them. I love talking about it. Our sponsors are good to us. Hello Tushy has been very, very good to me. This is a sponsor I'm excited about spending a lot more time with. Good health starts with good habits. Quip makes it easy by delivering all the oral care essentials you need to take care of your mouth. There is the Quip electric toothbrush, which is loved by over 7 million mouths and has timed sonic vibrations with 30-second pulses to guide a dentist-recommended 2-minute clean. A lightweight and sleek design, it is incredibly small and light. For adults and kids with no wires or bulky charger to weigh you down. A multi-use travel cover that doubles as a mirror mount for less clutter. And reusable handles in a range of sleek metal hues, including best-selling all black and all pink. As well as, are you more an all black or all pink, Brad? What do you think? What are we doing?
Black.
You're going black, okay. Anybody on the panel going pink? Here we go pink?
Beth has pink.
You won't lose it. There you go.
Blue.
Yeah,
I have blue.
I always go blue if I can.
Sophia's house, yeah.
As well as bright plastic colors, sure to make a pop to your bathroom counter. On top of your brushing, you can upgrade your new Quip with a new smart motor to track and improve your brushing with the free Quip app, which I got, which is awesome. And this is the thing, is the Quip app is not, I'm not gonna forget to brush most days. But the Quip app's not a thing where it's gonna be sending me a notification you gotta brush now. It's rad after 3 or 4 days to look back all right, how'd I do? How much time did I brush each time? What parts did I focus on? There's just so many things that it tracks. It's very fun. You can track and improve your brushing with the free Quip app. Earn amazing rewards like refills, products, Target gift cards, and more. I haven't gotten that far, but believe me, I love to grind, so I have goals. Beyond the brush, Quip has everything you need for a complete routine. Anti-cavity toothpaste in mint or watermelon that helps prevent cavities. And 2 ways to floss. A floss string that expands to clean and reusable floss pick that replaces over 180 disposable picks with every refill. In addition to brush heads, Quip also delivers fresh floss, toothpaste, mouthwash, gum refills every 3 months from $5. Shipping is free, so you can save money and skip the hustle and bustle of in-store shopping. With stylish and affordable electric brushes starting at just $25, you won't be paying through the teeth for better oral health. Ba-dum-ching. If you get to getquip.com/allies right now, you will get your first refill free. That is your first refill free at getquip.com/allies. That is GETQUIP.com/allies. Quip, the good habits company. My butt and then my teeth. These are connected. You know what I mean? I'm in good shape right now. With Postmates, I get all of my favorite foods from the local restaurants in my neighborhood delivered. No leaving the house, and even better, no getting in the car or finding a parking spot. And Postmates isn't all just burritos and sushi. You can order things like toothpaste and phone chargers on demand too. That's because places like Walgreens and 7-Eleven are also on Postmates. When the app, my favorite part's when the app lets me know my food or items have been delivered. Everything is right outside my door. So cool, that never gets old. The only thing that's going to beat the app to it is Sophie. Sophie will be the only thing that'll let me know that somebody's at my house before the app. Just download Postmates on iOS or Android, find your favorite foods for that one thing you forget to get from the store, and get it delivered on demand. And for a limited time, Postmates is giving our listeners a little something. New customers will get 50% off of your first 5 orders of $50 or more when you use code EasyAllies, all one word. That's code, all caps, EasyAllies, to get 50% off your first 5 orders of $50 or more. Max savings of $100 per order. Just download the Postmates app, sign up online, super easy. Offer is subject to change, taxes and fees may apply. Offer valid for 30 days after you and the promo code add to your account. That's 50% off your first 5 orders of $50 or more when you download the Postmates app and use code EasyAllies. And if you are a patron of Easy Allies, thank you. That was a long one. Grasshopper joined Netease.
Right.
There's been a lot of interesting moves with the people associated with this. We were rumored to be going someplace else, now bringing other people into this company. What do you know about, tell me about Grasshopper and Netease, because I think these are names that you are paying attention to, Blood.
Yeah, obviously Grasshoppers, Suda, and No More Heroes has been the big thing that they've been doing. And recently, I don't know if it was ever confirmed that Nagoshi and the other Sega guy were going to NetEase, but that
yes, it was just rumored for a super long time. But I think,
we knew that they left Sega. The original rumor was that NetEase was trying to get them, and then we heard that they left Sega. But I don't know if we ever heard confirmed that they actually went to NetEase. But if so, now Nagoshi and Suda are coworkers.
Right.
That's an interesting combo there. The other thing that's interesting about it is, Grasshopper, except for when they've kind of teamed up with others, they've essentially been an indie team. They've had to really keep things in kind of a tight budget, and you can see that sometimes in the games. They're as cool and as stylish as they are. It's they're running on kind of minimal horsepower. So maybe being part of this giant juggernaut of a money-making mobile company,
right,
is going to give them some resources to do some much bigger things and hire more staff and all that. Because it does sound like they're going to be making the same kind of games that they like to make. They're just now part of this larger entity.
And it's not like a traditional purchase. I mean, no two of these I imagine are the same. But it's not like something where a company looks or a Nintendo's we need to get that developer so they can keep making stuff. In 2013, Grasshopper was acquired by Japanese publisher Gung Ho Online Entertainment, which does Ragnarok Online and Puzzles and Dragons, among other things.
And Let It Die.
Hey! People thought that was kind of a weird fit, but it didn't slow them down. I don't feel you can make connections between Gung Ho and what Grasshopper has done recently. And so it's actually a, quote, equity transfer agreement that happened in May that is now, it's just kind of passing through. It's okay, now Grasshopper moves on to NetEase. So it's not necessarily NetEase being all right, we're going to change what you're doing. It's just oh, okay, we own them now, And that does happen a lot when one big company buys another big company that owns other big companies. And then people kind of make the connection between the first name and last name, but it's there's a lot of paperwork and other stuff going on. So interesting, like you said, that Nagoshi and Suda are close or not, working, parallel or on the same project, who knows. But yeah, these are definitely big names. It's gonna be interesting to see.
Be
Are there gonna
interesting
be
to
more
see
people?
Cool collab.
what the game that comes out of this will look like. What their first game will be when we actually get real details about what Negoshi's doing. It's like, is he setting up a new studio entirely, or is, are they going to be partnered up and staffing up Grasshopper in some way? I don't really know.
We're putting money on the table right now, Blood. When am I bringing up the word Netease on the Easy Allies podcast again?
I think
2021?
I think
Next week.
I think maybe by the
making
end of the
moves?
year we might hear another Japanese acquisition.
All right.
I don't know who, but I think that seems to be what's going on, and I think we'll hear more about that before we actually see any games.
So yeah, it doesn't sound. I got a quote here from Sudo, but it's basically like, "Yay, we're happy."
Hell yeah.
Just once, I would love to see that quote from some company gets bought, and the owner's like, we're not happy about this, but what are you gonna do? It's always like, we talked with them, and they're
Yeah.
very aligned, and they'll be mainly responsible for advising on our business planning activities and providing sufficient funding for game development. That's what you want. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see if they pick up somebody else, what project they're working on, and when they will return. I'm also very curious to see when BlizzCon will return. Because BlizzCon, as of right now, is kind of discontinued. It's kind of not. It's been delayed, and obviously, or not, it hasn't been canceled, but there was going to be a BlizzCon. BlizzCon's kind of fragmented into different events. There was going to be one in February. They have canceled it, and in a post, kind of saying, specifically in the quote, they're going to take the time to reimagine what a BlizzCon event of the future could look like. And before we get into the hornet's nest, that is that jolly company, Activision Blizzard, is there anything, Brad, because I know you've attended BlizzCons, you look forward to BlizzCon. You always have high hopes for Blizzard, even though they do you wrong.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about BlizzCon and think, I wish they did this at this event, or this is close, but...
Yeah.
What are your notes for BlizzCon, just across the years, not just last year, the year before?
They did the correct thing this year to not do one. They are under too much fire. The heat is hot on them right now. They gotta buckle down. Do not come back out from your hole until you got something great to show and you're ready to go. Until you're ready to launch these games, don't even bother. You're a mess right now. World of Warcraft, your biggest thing is a mess right now. You gotta buckle down.
Patch 9.2 is coming up for Shadowlands.
No
Very
one
exciting.
gives a shit. I'm sorry, no one cares right now. It's no one cares.
Yeah, I don't want to see
It's
Blizzard for
9.15, I
years.
think. It's not 2, I don't think.
Well, that was the thing with this.
Oh,
this
I think,
year's.
or just that it might get announced. 9.2 might get announced. That they.
Shadowlands,
That's what I read, sorry.
it's not good. It's not a good spot.
Yeah, but Brad, am I right thinking this year's was just sort of kind of this weird
Yeah, it's
check-in?
there
wasn't really
it would have been
anything
weird, 'cause
new, but not
maybe the next WoW
Resurrected
expansion?
was the biggest thing. Right?
Resurrected is the biggest thing. Diablo 4 is not going to be ready. Overwatch 2, what the hell's happening with that game? We
Right.
have no idea. And what else you got? You canceled that StarCraft shooter game. It's and Warcraft 3 Reforged is a disaster, and you just kind of abandoned that. It's Heroes of Storm's on maintenance mode.
Right.
It's you're in a bad spot right now.
Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 are incoming, but no dates, no scheduling outlook at all.
It's you don't need to do it right now.
Yeah, and this company is a company I used to love, and it's Kyle always used to joke, if a movie got a 2 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, he'd want to see it, but if it got a 5 out of 10, he would care less.
Sure.
That's where I'm kind of at with Blizzard. I just don't care about
Sure.
anything they're working on or doing. I'm not years now. I want them to go away for years and come back as a reformed, transformed studio. I just want no part of them. Go away.
They seem to think, the same thing. Quote, the energy it would take to put on a show like this is best directed towards supporting our teams and progressing development of our games and experiences. When they say games and experiences, I bet they mean more of an online thing. I don't know if they're talking about the employees and the experiences that they have working for Activision
Right.
Blizzard. Probably not the experiences
Right.
they're
No,
talking
yeah.
about.
That's probably
That statement feels like when Viacom would have, or a big company has a pizza party or whatever. It's just pay us more. Stop
Yeah.
doing this.
right.
Yeah, definitely.
Screw off with this.
I do think, because I did read some, with all the stories, and people got all kinds of different perspectives of things that have gone on. But I did get the sense from some of those stories that like BlizzCon is a huge pain in the butt for everybody.
Oh, I bet.
And
yeah.
a lot of these offenses that have gone through in this lawsuit happen at BlizzCon.
Right.
You know, they happen at, you know, obviously.
Very much.
It's when you incorporate travel into a media business, it can be really hard to manage what your employees are doing in different, you know, countries and states and cities.
But just having this pressure to put on something impressive.
Yeah.
You know, not just from a, you know, like where are the games at situation, but also like putting together some kind of package, some kind of video, some
And
kind
like
of big event.
every BlizzCon, they're like, Blizzard, we're at Blizzard, we're family, and we love the fans, we love all you out there. It's like this is not a good time for you to say that, have that
Yeah.
kind of thing going on, because no one's gonna buy it right now.
Yeah.
So it, to me, as weird as it might sound, like the better thing to do might be to just not do it every single year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They
You
haven't
know?
done it every year, but yes,
Okay.
you should only do it when you got stuff to do. Like you're not on top of the world right now. You're not Blizzard you used to be, you know. So don't do it all the time. Cool it.
That's a lesson the games industry needs to take on, I think, across the board. Is like, if you don't have something to say, don't do a press conference.
Right.
If
Yeah.
you don't have something to say, don't have
Yeah.
a live event. Like, just don't do it.
Yeah.
I can see a future for BlizzCon if they kind of take that Devolver Digital parody approach. You know, like Blizzard coming back and being really silly and goofy, making lots of jokes. I think that would fit tonally. I think that would work really well.
Knowing how
I
long
was
they,
waiting for that laugh. I was like, I really hope you don't think I'm serious.
knowing how long they take to make games too, I
Right.
don't see this company bouncing back for quite a while. Like nobody cares at all about Overwatch 2,
Right.
and
People care about Diablo 4.
people
but
care about Diablo 4.
I don't
It's
know
kinda
about-
like
yeah.
it's kind of like their ace in the hole. Their
Yeah,
last
that's their
shot. Because
yeah.
like outside of that, like I'm sure they're working on secret things that have not been announced, but like they take
Oh, they were.
so long. I don't see the next few years
Right.
are good for this
Well,
company.
and Diablo 4 is their
Like, I
ace
don't
in the
even
hole,
care
but it
about
has
it.
to come out and be so good.
Yeah.
To like get this company back
Yeah.
in good graces,
Yeah.
that game has to be a masterpiece.
Yeah, it's like they're not the only big boy now.
Right,
It's like
right.
PoE
Yeah.
is crushing it all the time.
Well, and then on the WoW front, you know, like Brad, you've seen like a lot of
Shadowlands,
people
yeah, it's not in a
moving
good
over to
spot.
14.
Yeah.
But on top of that,
It's a
like,
new world.
isn't there kind of like this weird split now between like WoW and WoW Classic? 'Cause
There
they're like
was
updating
more-
both of them
There
at the
was
same
more.
time.
Yeah, there's WoW Classic, which turned into WoW Burning Crusade, essentially. So there's two forms of WoW. I mean, you don't have to buy two subscriptions, but there's two different WoWs. Now they're going to start doing WoW, I think Classic Plus it's called or something like that, where it's like seasonal kind of thing, and they change some things. But yeah, WoW is like a really weird state of the players not being satisfied with the developers, feeling like there's no communication, especially now like 14 has like so much more communication, and you feel like when Yoshi P is talking, he's like talking to like a human, and when the Blizzard people's like a PR machine almost. So it's like they're just doing everything wrong at the moment, and they really gotta like humble pie it right now. Like you're not rock stars, you're not the king anymore. You gotta bring it back. As someone who loved WoW for like ever, like a lot of us here love
Oh my
WoW,
goodness.
and
Yeah,
it's
Lich
just
King
like,
was
it's just
seminal.
I
sad
loved
to see it,
Warcraft.
man.
I love StarCraft. I love Diablo.
Yeah.
Like I played every single one
Wings
of
of
those
Liberty. I just
franchises.
discovered StarCraft. I
for
discovered
my
I love
life.
StarCraft.
Yeah.
It's just
know.
it's sad to see. And like when I loved Warcraft 3, and just to see like what happened to that game, it's just like, oh, why you do this?
But there's also the other issue that we have discussed, but the fact that the lawsuit that Activision Blizzard is currently dealing with, of course, is not mentioned at all, even hinted at in this trailer.
Of course not.
And the elephant in the room is sitting on Bobby Kotick's head. I mean, it is not like I can't see anything in this room but this massive, massive elephant.
Yeah.
Isla. Press releases aren't, supposed to be written by humans. But do you think, if you were within Blizzard, do you think anybody could make an argument for like just saying something in this post? Just say some kind of thing, or is it just cleaner to be like, it's a very short post, like, oh, we're not playing BlizzCon, bye, for reasons that we want to change it. It's like, that's it.
I feel like if you're doing that, like, there are the three routes, right? You're really brusque like this. You're just like, hey, it's not happening. We'll see you when we see you. Or you're like super PR, lengthy legalese, Or you try to do the thing, and this is the hardest thing and almost never works, but when it does, I think it's good. But like, you just try to talk like a human being and be like, hey, things are really messed up over here right now. we're doing bad, and we don't think it would be appropriate to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be the only way if they were like super honest and open about it. That would have been the only way to, I think, like, you know, because the alternative to that is like, due to ongoing legal concerns, we, you know, like, and like, who wants to hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Blizzard's only path forward, and Activision by extension, is like if they just start to own it in a very human way, to just be like, hey, we had some really bad practices that we allowed to happen, blah 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 blah. You know, I don't know, but yeah.
Well, I think there was one line in there, and you read it earlier, something about focusing on our developers or something specifically. I think that
supporting our teams
yeah,
and progressing development.
Yeah.
Which to them probably is them addressing it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
That's the
I
verbiage.
think that's the like little bit of
Yeah.
Yeah.
bit
also
that
good.
creeped
Yeah.
in there. Yeah.
So yeah, kind of a blessing in disguise. You know, it's like there seems to be an agreement that they need to
They just need to
go into the cave and don't come out. You made
Well,
Years.
yeah,
I
like
want
you
to see it for
said,
years.
They're
Be better.
How many people are gonna want to do that?
Yeah.
I think it's bad. It's even like a bad business proposal. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, we have staff that are unhappy, and we're gonna run them ragged to put on this event that people don't want to come to because they're unhappy with us. Like, yeah, it's just bad vibes all around.
a strange moment of clarity. Obviously, you
Yeah,
want
it's
to
like-
hang out with your
Because they're
fellow
just gonna
Blizzard
invite a
fans,
bunch of
but-
people that are gonna come out with protest signs.
Yeah, and it's like they do Q&As there, and it's like, oh, it's going to be real weird if people asking questions that make you uncomfortable if you're a dev.
Another
you're
race.
just a poor dev trying to show your game.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like you have to be in that position.
Yeah.
Of like
It's like
answering
none of them
these
wanna
awkward
do that,
questions
yeah.
that are like somebody in another
Yeah.
building is responsible for. Yeah.
Should have Kotek field those questions personally.
That would be so great.
That
in
would
cosplay.
never happen.
In
Oh,
cosplay,
yeah.
dressed
That
up
would
as like
be
Sylvanas,
sweat.
just sitting there like.
Yeah, like let's go. Let's be
love it.
like Isla said, be a real human being, accept accountability and responsibility.
Yeah.
Ask me questions. Let's go.
Here's a little bit of accountability here. There's another silver lining this week that I appreciate. I talked, and Brad knows this because I talked about it last week, but the DFEH is currently dealing with an ethics violation because somebody that worked there worked at another agency. And Blizzard got, Activision Blizzard got a whiff of that. And we're like, oh, hey, give us that paperwork. And we want to request a pause on the lawsuit to learn about this stuff. And the judge is like, no.
Yeah. Good.
Oh, nice.
I want to
The Los Angeles County Court was like, we're not pausing anything.
Clear
Sorry.
though, like Blizzard is fired, and like a lot of people have been fired and let
Yeah.
go from this. Like
20
some
people
heads have
specifically,
rolled,
like
yes.
recently.
It's not
And
like
so-
everyone is still there. Like shit is happening.
No, yeah.
It's just gonna take a while.
Right.
And like, if you want Bobby Kotick to go, it's like,
Yeah.
that's probably not gonna
Yeah.
happen.
I mean, I don't think that's the thing that necessarily that people want, but it's
that's what some people want, Blood.
right.
That's definitely what some
I'm
people
just saying that it doesn't feel like there's been enough of like, hey, actually focus on what needs to happen to make things better, other than some high profile.
Yeah, and it's like
dismissals.
I don't know what it's like internally there. I don't know.
The post is called Reimagining BlizzCon. It maybe should have been called Shit is Happening.
It should just be called
Yeah,
Reimagining. It
shit's
should be called
happening.
Reimagining Blizzard.
Well, I think it was Ben made that joke, and I'm actually curious to do it right now. I lost the link. To like replace the word Blizzard with BlizzCon.
Other way
It kind of reads.
Other way around.
Oh yeah, other way around, because it kind of reads. We're just changing this thing. We just want to see what Blizzard can be like in the future. But we'll see. We'll miss seeing you, but don't worry. We'll be back together soon. Is that a threat?
Is Blizzard in the room with us right now, Brandon?
This is the only week where I enjoy something like that. In November, it's not quite as charming, Blizzard.
Blizzard is hiding in the closet.
Blizzard, get out of my closet. Also this week, speaking of Blizzard, McCree from Overwatch is now known as
I don't remember.
Cole
Cole
Cassidy.
Cassidy?
Cole
Yeah.
Cassidy. I was curious what
That took
was
a
going to be.
really long time to come up with a new name.
Casserole.
That should have been like a 30-minute meeting.
I'm just gonna call him Casserole now.
Like two executives were fighting over two dumb
it's like
cowboy
it's been
names.
Months.
Immediately after this podcast aired last week, we got this beautiful screen swapping trailer of the GTA Online remastered trilogy, or the GTA Definitive Edition trilogy. December 11th, $60. Looks great.
Yep.
Advanced Wars.
Whoa. Delisting the old ones, though.
We'll get to that, baby.
Okay.
We talking about it now. Yeah, but I put it at 2 different points also this week. GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas are gone. They're delisted from most stores. I think Steam, they're still there, but I think a lot of other places where they used to be, especially like
Better get 'em
Rockstar, like
quick.
you can't. And there is a Rockstar Q&A where Rockstar officially said, "Oh yeah, they're gone." And it's funny to see the Q&A format because the question's like, "Where are these games?"
Yeah.
Rockstar's like, I don't know why were you expecting to buy them. We have new versions of them coming out in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
so
I
go
don't
get those.
like it at all.
Lucas.
If you've bought it, you can download them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was sneaky of them to do.
See, and just kind of annoying. You
Or
know?
to not even give a heads up.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this
Yo.
is going to go away, by the release date even, but it's like, boop, bye.
Yeah.
Want to maximize sales.
Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine are now in Fortnite, so things are fine. Everything balances out. Illogica, which has the I lowercase and then everything else is in caps. ILLOGIKA, a Canadian studio, is apparently making a video game based on A Quiet Place. That'll be interesting to see what that turns out to be. Not based on the characters in either film, a whole new scenario. The Happy Hob beat all Souls games, Bloodborne, and Sekiro without taking a single hit.
This is the second time, I believe. The God Run 2.
That is such a massive flex.
I watched
though.
some of this
Yeah.
live.
In one sitting.
Yeah. No, I don't think it was one sitting.
I thought it was on one stream.
I don't think so. Maybe it was.
That's 300 hours of gameplay. How do you...
I mean,
You can bust through some of
Yeah,
those
I
games
guess.
pretty fast. Like, I think you could beat Bloodborne in like 3 hours.
yeah, it's not all bosses.
This is
I
extremely
believe.
impressive to me. That's,
But yeah, it's still really
out
crazy.
of control.
Wow.
Speaking of hard games, Returnal got a 2.0 update. They have a suspend cycle,
Good,
Yeah.
good
which
update, yeah.
I kind of understand, but I haven't played Returnal, so I don't specifically know the impact.
Exactly what I said they should do.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone
Because the only
wanted
thing you
this.
could do before was put in
Everyone.
rest mode.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's basically it's like an old Fire Emblem game or something to where it creates a temporary suspend point.
Mm-hmm.
So you can exit the game. You don't have to worry about keeping in rest and all that kind of thing. It's just like, and then when you come back to it, it's like Majora's Mask. Like that is it
Your
wipes.
save's gone, yeah.
So, but then you can do it again later.
In a photo mode, which I don't recall you screaming about as much,
No.
but should be fun. Speaking of WoW, former WoW developers, including 2 co-creators, formed Notorious Studios.
I remember when this guy left.
Riot Games invested.
I remember when this guy left.
Just,
Oh, they did? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's just interesting because it's like everyone at Notorious worked on WoW. It's like
Yeah.
the whole they're
That
all
guy
they're
was
all
there
WoW
for
people.
like
so
13 years.
it can be very interesting to see what they did. Or what they work on. CD Projekt acquired Boston-based The Molasses Flood, which did Flame in the Flood,
Love
but also
Flame in
did
the Flood.
Drake's Hollow, which is a game that I wanted to put a lot more time into.
Right.
I dug, but once I bounced off, I was like, oh, I did. I bounced off of it. Okay, time to check out something else. But and they were like really talking up their next game, not just like we're excited that they get to do stuff. They're like, wait till you see what they're working on. It's really cool.
Well, but they did say it's
When
gonna
CD
be
Projekt wants to get me hyped about something,
one
I
of their
just-
existing IP, so it's going to be a Witcher or Cyberpunk thing.
Oh, I didn't catch that part. Oh,
So
all right.
yeah, it's an interesting pick. I'm very curious. I have a feeling it's going to be outside of those genres. It's maybe survival based Witcher game. I don't. Are you going to
Yeah.
protect the town from a bunch of monsters, or I don't know.
A lot of weird, Witcher card games, Witcher AR, Witcher,
Yeah.
lots of fun ways to experience The Witcher. And finally, Ember Lab recouped their cost for Kena Bridge of Spirits and are working on their next game.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah, good for
that worked
them.
out for them. Yeah, I was curious
Nice.
because that game looked incredible. It's like, that seems like an expensive game. Hopefully they make that money. It is now time for Love and Respect.
Love and respect.
From Samwise Game Geek. Since it's the spookiest week of the year, it's now up to you to decide which horror game makes a return and which is retired for eternity.
Alien
Oh.
Isolation.
Now we do it's on the list,
Retired.
baby. But
Returning.
something's got to go. So we do this. So we do this
Everything goes.
with old franchises, but it's always like,
Pump
well, yeah,
the-
bring it
pump the
all
brakes,
back.
Hubert.
In
Everything
this,
goes.
it's one or the other. And some of these we don't necessarily consider horror, but they have spooky elements to them.
Horror.
So one's got to stay, one's got to go. Number one,
Horror-ish.
Resistance: Fall of Man or Fear.
What returns?
What returns and what goes
I
away?
would love another Resistance. I would love it. Fear had its moment.
I mean, Resistance had
Resistance
its
had
moment.
its moment. I think there's more potential with Resistance.
Retire 'em
Another
both.
one.
I might go with Fear over
Fear
Resistance.
2 was fine.
Even though I
Fear
haven't played
3
that
was
much
even
Fear.
worse. It was all downhill after
Resistance
the
1 was fine.
Two
Resistance
was
2
the
good.
best.
2 was the best.
first.
3
2 was the best.
fine.
3 was awesome.
3 ended bad, dude.
So
Sour
much more
taste.
consistent than Fear, I promise.
Probably.
Fear
2's
Probably.
good.
Probably.
Fear 1 is still the best.
Yeah.
But like, just cancel them both and put energy into something else more interesting.
I guess I'd take Resistance.
can't.
Could be fun to revisit that, I guess.
Resistance
love it.
definitely could be cool.
Especially
They
with,
got
like,
the gameplay
Insomniac
really well down on 3. Yeah.
nowadays.
Turok. or Dino Crisis?
Dino
Dino Crisis.
Bring
Yeah.
it back.
Turok's gone forever. All right.
Sorry, Turok.
Fatal Frame or Siren?
Siren.
Fatal Frame.
Yo,
Siren
both of
back.
these are so good.
Well, Fatal
Siren
Frame
is
is weird
good.
because Fatal Frame's not dead. Fatal Frame is just like came out.
Well, a remaster
Yeah.
came out, and then the Japanese one that we never got. But yeah,
Right.
Siren, I feel like
Siren.
didn't get the time in the sun it
Yeah.
deserved.
I agree.
I love Siren, and I feel like it always like didn't have enough money, and no one played
Was that
it.
weird episodic one when that like freaked
Yeah,
people out?
Blood-
Episodic? That's
oh.
weird. I want to wait till it's all so I can binge
Oh, what
it.
was
It
that
was
called?
weird though. Siren Blood Curse.
Blood Curse? Yeah, it was Blood something. Yeah. Oh, Blood Curse. Yep.
It was weird though.
But it was like episodic. But didn't they all release it? I think they did all release at the same time. It was really
It was
bizarre.
weird. It was weird. It was weird.
They were like separate downloads. You had to like
Yeah.
download like 12 freaking
It
things.
was ahead of its time.
Corrections coming in.
It's time.
Nightmare Creatures or Legacy of Kain?
Oh,
Dude, Nightmare
Oh.
Legacy of Kain's probably better games though.
Legacy of Kain hurts, but they told a good story.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
I haven't played either, but I would feel like Legacy of Kain would be
I feel like more
stronger.
people are clamoring for that.
Yeah.
I personally love Nightmare Creatures so
Did you play
much,
2?
but yeah, 2's okay. Love Nightmare Creatures 1. But
Yeah, yeah, it's cool. Definitely cool.
It's cool.
Silent Hill or Parasite Eve?
Oh, that's
Oh,
tricky,
that's
but Silent
terrible.
Hill.
That's rude.
That's
That's
rude.
so rude.
That's rude.
Yeah, that's
that,
rude.
that
Tough.
one is tough.
Wait,
I feel
I refuse.
attacked
No,
by
wait.
that.
I refuse. I'm picking Parasite Eve.
I refuse.
Ooh.
I wanted
And you're
Parasite
gonna
Eve.
you're in the presence.
No, look. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back to the Resistance versus
Yeah,
Fear.
sure.
They're both getting
Sure,
retired.
sure,
And then
sure.
both
Oh,
Parasite
okay.
Eve
Oh, I see.
and
Well,
Logan.
Samwise, let me know next week if that flies
Fine.
with you. Okay.
I
Let me
accept
know.
those terms.
Let me know if we're Do we ink it? Can we make the CG trailer now? Alone in the Dark or Clock Tower?
Ooh.
Curious of your takes on this. I love Clock Tower so much.
Yeah. Well,
I think Clock Tower is a little overhyped,
I
personally.
can totally see that. Yes.
The reboot of Alone in the Dark was rough.
Right.
Yeah, not great.
Rough movie, rough
Yeah, they tried. They failed.
Alone in the Dark has the legacy, but I feel
Does.
like Clock Tower had more fun in it.
I feel like the pursuer enemy has been done to death right now.
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
just
so
play
love
Dead by
Pursuers.
Daylight. Why do we need a Clock Tower, right?
I don't
Yeah.
love Pursuers.
Scissor Man and Dead by Daylight when?
that'd be good.
Oh, that'd be good.
Actually cool.
With a super low poly skin too. That'd be awesome.
And Alone in the Dark, like that's one of the OGs right there. That is
That first flying enemy dude?
foundational.
Yeah.
So good.
That first game is
Yeah.
not scary at all.
It was scary for me.
It's not. Just because it's so early. Just
Yeah.
because
At
they
the
were.
time, dude,
Yeah.
that shit was
it was
terrifying.
No, I mean,
intense.
yeah.
That dog with massive jaws.
Well, you couldn't
Yeah.
even see what anything was. Some big blob would just come walking around.
It all made sense back then.
Condemned or The Suffering?
Condemned
Condemned.
100%.
Condemned. Yeah.
100%.
The Suffering
wait,
definitely rocked me.
which
way
one
more
is-
than
Suffering's
Condemned,
sick.
But
Which one's the one where you're like a prisoner?
That's the
Suffering.
That's I
Suffering's
liked Suffering.
so
I
good.
liked Suffering.
For sure. Oh, this is another rude one.
This is tough.
Suffering's
I
messed
really
up,
liked
but,
Suffering.
you know.
Yeah, that game
Because-
is dark.
Because I'm
Multiple
a little
endings.
more. I'm a little more of like give the one that only got one another
Sure, there
chance.
were a
You know,
couple
like
of
Condemned. There were
Sufferings.
2. We got 2 of them.
Was there 2 Sufferings also?
I think there's
Yeah.
only 1.
no,
thought
there's
there were
2.
two.
Yes, there's 2.
Never played the sequel.
Yep.
Shit. Well,
Yeah, the Suffering, the ties that bind. Is the
never
second
played that
I
one.
did hear that title before. Yep.
Galarians or D? What's Galarians?
I don't know what
Crab
Galarians is.
We talked about D last week.
What?
No. Sure. I know. I was excited about D. Let's do it.
Yeah, I've always wanted
Let's
to play
get a sequel
D.
for that game you haven't
In the
played.
Enemy Zero family.
Galarians.
What the heck?
This is the most like
D-hype.
anime
Developed by
looking guy.
Polygon Magic?
Dude.
Galarians.
And D2 on Dreamcast.
Yeah. Sorry, Galarians. You got beat. Alien Isolation?
Yep.
Or Bioshock?
See you later,
Alien Isolation.
Bioshock.
Bioshock's
Yeah.
in development,
Yeah.
so it's kind of
Alien
There you go.
Isolation. Oh, people told me last time that D is on GOG.
D
Yes.
rules.
Aha!
saw
So I
that.
finally get to play it.
And finally, Cold Fear? Anyone?
No.
Cold
Is that
Fear?
PS2? Wii game?
That's PS2.
PS2.
I
Too,
do.
yeah.
Does it sound familiar?
Or Obscure.
Oh, Obscure.
Dude, Obscure is sick.
Obscure.
Cool?
Obscure,
know
you
Sophia and I
that's
played
right.
Obscure.
Yeah, it's on
It's
Steam.
so good.
Cool. There we
It
go.
had some sequels too.
Thank you for that.
Obscure 2, right?
Obviously, I'm pulling all of the spooky themed Love and respects this week from Sam Joven. If we lived in an ideal world where studios and developers wouldn't need to worry about licensing rights, what horror franchise would you most want to get a video game adaptation? Any dream collaborations between game devs and movie directors? Horror franchise getting a game.
Let Guillermo make an At the Mountains of Madness
Yeah.
video game.
Or Haunted
If you
Mansion.
can't make the movie, make the game.
I want Rockstar to make The Purge.
Whoa.
Wow. Oh my.
Open
That's
world Manhunt.
Yeah, didn't
basically.
they already made Manhunt?
Open world, like GTA cross Manhunt equals The Purge. Let's go.
I want IO Interactive to make Child's Play.
Ooh.
Wow.
I like that.
So you can't move. You can't move.
Are
It's
you
just,
Chucky
It's just
or
like
are
it's,
you-
it's the same thing if somebody spots you with the body in Hitman. If
Yeah.
somebody spots you running around as Chucky, the cat's out of the bag.
That is
They're not-
fantastic.
That now they're scared of you and they might try to leave, and then
I
you lost
love
the
it.
opportunity. But if you're just waiting, and you
love
obviously don't
that.
want to hurt the kid because the kid's carrying you around,
It's like
getting
prop
you in
hunt,
rooms,
kinda.
like so you want to try to take out everyone associated with the kid, and then you can spend time with the kid now.
I want
Victory screen with you. with the
That's
kid.
so good.
I want the Chinese Room to make a folk horror game, maybe based on Wicker Man or something, where you like go to a village and then everyone turns on you slowly. That'd be cool.
We need a new X-Files game.
Oh,
Yeah, dude, it's called Control.
Sure.
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
It's called Alan Wake.
It's my game of the year. It's called Control. Like for that reason, I was like, oh, this is so. I've wanted this for so long.
Just From Software can make whatever the hell they want. Whatever franchise you want to tackle, go ahead. I'm cool with it.
This game's called whatever the hell we want.
How about Dracula, dude? From
I was thinking
Software's
of that.
Dracula.
I was thinking of that. Yeah.
that'd be cool.
I think what's interesting when you talk about Control is like, Control is kind of like you saw what happened, as kind of behind the scenes,
Sure.
but like you didn't actually go out
Out
and
in the world.
investigate.
Yeah. Well, that could be. I mean, they have
The huge.
they're blowing up the
expansion
Control
plans, for sure.
verse. Yeah, so they might do that eventually.
Man, Mobius Games, the people who made Outer Wilds, making a horror game, like a horror puzzle game, would be so intense.
Yeah.
Haunted Mansion 2. Just anything Haunted Mansion. Any developer.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
take
yeah,
it. Doesn't
yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
VR. Haunted Mansion VR. Oh my God. All right, moving on. From Zach Wojnar. Bad news on the Zach front.
Oh.
I'm suddenly super sick.
Oh,
What?
no.
I hope it's not coronavirus, but I can barely muster up the strength to go to my local testing site and find out for sure. However, I did have the strength to buy the new Guardians of the Galaxy game, which I was planning on waiting for a while. It's funny, I haven't had the strength yet. I figured if I'm going to be sick and curled up in a ball on my chair in front of my
Yes.
TV, I'd like to do so while taking a chance on a brand new game. My
Great
question to
sick
you,
game.
when was the last time you were so sick it was just you and a game, and what was that game?
I don't know if it was the last time, but I remember I played through Journey when I was sick. I had like an insane headache, I remember, and I was
Whoa.
just playing that game, and it was like therapeutic almost.
I usually watch a lot of movies when I'm sick because
Yeah.
I just want to sit there and zone out.
Yeah.
Fortnite's a good sick game.
Yeah, I don't play
Sure.
games.
Low
really when I'm
consequence,
Yeah.
stress yourself out if you want to win, otherwise just run around look at stuff.
sick. I had an epic. I watched all of Escaflowne while sick as a teen. That was pretty intense.
Because you gotta turn the TV on, turn the console on, bring up the controller, go to a menu. There's like a lot of
a lot.
opportunities to bail when you're
Yeah.
sick, where you're just like, it's too much.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But mobile's always there for me.
Can remember calling in sick though and just playing or like to school and just staying home sick day playing some games.
I played a lot of
so hyped.
Dark Cloud 1 when I was sick, dude.
That's awesome.
I don't think I've ever lied about and taken a sick day. I was trying to think if I've ever done that.
My mom wouldn't let me. My mom like volunteered at my high school, and so she's like, I know the staff.
Yeah.
If I call and I'm like, oh, Brandon's sick today, they'll be like, what? Why do you sound weird, Karen? And she's like, never mind. Like, couldn't do it.
Yeah. If my temperature was not like sketchy, you're going to school.
It's all about
Yeah.
Milo and Otis. Remember that was the one she brought home VHS tapes. It's like, I know you're sick. I brought these home. Like, Milo and Otis? What's this weird movie, Mom? This movie's amazing. I'm like, gripped ever
Is
since
that
then.
where you got the name?
No, got the name from Phantom Tollbooth
Oh,
for the little
Ah.
one. Yeah, the main
Nice.
character's mine. There's a song that I don't know that has Milo. Maybe he'll learn it someday. It's time for bets. Next week's bet, Just Dance 2022 launches on November 4th. When we record the podcast next week, what position will be the first version that I see, likely Switch, which is currently 25, on Amazon's hot new releases page? Again, it's currently 25. If it's the PS5 version blows past Switch, I'll count that. Whatever the highest Just Dance 2022 is. Brad Ellis, where's it going to be?
Number 7.
Number 7, my goodness. Michael Huber.
I didn't know the bet
Yeah, you were really weird about this.
because
the number.
Brandon Jones was explaining the bet
Right.
as I go to do a research break.
Okay.
You
I
can
didn't
ask
wa-
him to do it
I
again.
didn't want you to have to repeat yourself.
He does it all the time.
I didn't want him to repeat himself.
So what did you do? You like draw a picture of a teddy bear or something? Or what?
15.
Oh. Well,
Shot in the dark.
Now 15's going to win. Dude.
Shot in the dark
Now
right
15's
here,
going to
Jones.
win.
It's actually a pretty
It's actually
good
been
bet.
this has actually been like a recurring thing on the podcast
Totally
recently with
fine
bets,
bet, yeah.
where somebody says a bet and we go, whoa, and then it wins like the next week. So, Isla, where's it going to be?
I said 22.
Okay, okay.
All right,
Blood?
all right.
So 21.
13. Dun,
Wow.
dun, dun.
Good
Sneaking ahead of you, but not that
October
high. I know. I was
Good
feeling
one.
it. This week's bet, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy launched on Tuesday this week. I want to know how long those end credits are. Brad Ellis bet 5 minutes. Isla Hink bet 7 minutes. Daniel Bloodworth bet 17 minutes and 27 seconds. And I bet 7:01 to try to sneak ahead of somebody. I snuck
Ubisoft
ahead of
credits?
Isla. Didn't need to do that because those credits are 38 minutes long.
knew
38
it.
minutes. Now, here's the thing, and this is complete 100% spoiler free. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in those credits. The room starts to roll up. By the time that last credit goes, many things happen. It's very boisterous, adventurous, fun credit sequence that had spoiled for me. Thanks, because Huber didn't upload footage of his
Really?
review. Well, I just
would've done it for
I know the
you.
final boss fight now
You
and all
should
that
have asked
stuff.
me to do it. I would have done it. I would have done it.
I asked you twice.
He loves spoilers.
It's fine.
asked you twice.
He
What do you
doesn't
mean?
care.
He loves spoilers.
That was on me.
You know what I love more than spoilers? Messing with you, Huber.
Got
Sorry, John.
You know what I love more than messing with you? When my team wins that bet, baby. Daniel Bloodworth with the win, 17-27, the closest to 38 minutes. I mean, even
That's
if you took all of
insane.
scenes out and
38
stuff,
minutes?
it's still more
What is
than
this, like
17.
the Metal Gear Solid 4 ending?
Yep.
That's really long.
Bringing our scores too. Jovial Penguins 27.
You're just jealous because I'm a genuine freak and you have to wear a mask.
Vociferous Beavers 20.
Nom, 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 nom.
Nah. We're in the 20s. We're still going to lose this year, but we're in the 20s. Let me tell you about patreon.com/easyallies. Now, this only happens once a month. And you might wonder, sometimes I've listened to that Easy Allies podcast and I've just left it rolling. And then all of a sudden, Brandon Jones comes in and starts reading names of a bunch of people I don't know. Those people give us $25 a month. They are our Patreon podcast producers of this podcast. And once a month, the very last podcast, I read a whole bunch of names. Nice, nice. I read a whole bunch of names from all these wonderful people who not only get that $25 reward, but all of the rewards, above that as well. Or below that, depending on what direction you're going in. But these are a bunch of wonderful people, and I'm sure I mispronounce and missay their names many, many times, but they have supported us for a very long time. And thank you to you, our Patreon podcast producers. But you don't get a shout-out, podcast producers. Only these 4 wonderful people get a shout-out. They're very top tier on patreon.com/easyallies. Shout-out to Elphanis, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, Caleb Togi Crawford, and Nick.
Anyone else who joins that tier will get a shout out too, not just
Oh,
those
yeah.
4 people.
Oh, no. But it is our
there
last
are more
podcast of the
slots
month.
available.
So if you want to get in there in November,
Yeah.
Hop in now.
now's the time to do it. Daniel Bloodworth, take it away. You won this podcast. You get to promote any Easy Allies video you'd like to promote. You get the final word on anything you disagreed with, want to reiterate, or just popped into your head, and you get to sign off with your trademark sign off.
For video, go check out our playthrough of Dark Pictures House of Ashes.
Yeah.
Me, Huber, Brad, Isla, Damiani, we played through that whole game together, and that was a fun time. That was
It
a
was
fun night.
bonkers.
Yeah, and legitimately, like, second best Supermassive game, I think. Until Dawn,
sure.
I still have it up there a little higher.
Right there.
But it's fun. It goes places you don't expect. It puts us in, like, there's this one moment because you play this 5-player mode, and so you pass the controller to the next person. And there's this part near the end where we're just like passing the controller around, and like nobody wants it. It's the hot potato.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's like gonna go off.
was
It's gonna
awesome.
explode. It's super fun stream. It's over on youtube.com/easyalliesplays or at twitch.tv/easyallies where you can catch those archives. Final word, we didn't even get to this. Nintendo 64 emulation is just straight busted.
Yeah, I was hearing there were lots of reports from a lot of different places, and so
Yeah.
I get its final word. Sorry,
I
saw that.
Yeah, I want to
I'm curious how it'll
see
resolve.
more. I want somebody to actually break it down. It sounds like Digital Foundry is just not even interested in approaching it. But stuff with like alpha and fog not rendering correctly. Some people have like weird frame rate
Input
and
lag.
crash issues. The input lag I'm a little questioning on because I haven't noticed that, and I like played a lot of
Ocarina
Mario
of Time.
Kart
I think
and,
it's
and
different
Star
for
Fox.
different
But yeah,
games.
different games have different issues. That's not acceptable. So fix that. I know Nintendo probably won't, but fix that.
Charging a premium.
And we'll see you before the next Blood Moon rises.
The difficulty spike was precipitous.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Or the rack of bodies. Nintak.
The Easy Allies would like to thank our Patreon podcast producers. We apologize in advance for all the ally names we are about to misspell and mispronounce. Caleb Togi Crawford, L. Fennis, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, Nick, Edgar M. Hernandez, Walker Hope, Will Schmuck, Alex AI, Alexander Zirianov, Alexandra Reyes, Ali Cat, Beaten Down Brian, Bradley Spees, Daniel Portillo, Dave Red, Discarded Digit, Douglas Chomich, Freya Lawson, Hayden Hargraves, Happy Gaming, Jay Shee, Jesse Blue, Jose Gutierrez, Miguel Rivas, Nicholas Johnson, Paolo Costabel, Richard G. Flowers, Rob Bob Will, Robert Stoffel, Roy Sung, Sage Mode Q, Sigma, S-Snake24, Chum Nguyen, Valmar, Aurelien Grenier, Blue, Brandon White, Brian Kruger, Dale Sun, Gary James, G. Levin, James Vitt, Jan Tyson, Jesper Potmel Dufay, John Burns, Kroldemort, Lath, Luke Bennett, Mango, Marcel Markov, Mark J. Betters II, Matthew Holcomb, Matthew Pauling, Nathan Watkins, Oni Blackmage, Pete Shoemaker, Robert Crouch, Sam Handrick, Stepan Hakobian, Stephen Thomason, The Banana Forklift Killer, Tom Eierman, Rack, Zachary Wingate, 44 Stars, Accounts Payable, Adam Henry, Adam Sharonbrock, Ahmed Al-Rashed, Alex Monaco, Alexander Irving, Andreas Risberg, Andri, Anthony Galvin, Austin, Barry, Beastmaster64, Bjornor Haraldsvik, Blake Bonsack, Breadroll Art, Brian Foster, Briscoe Davis, Brittany Fuller, Bunny Chen, C.S. Lewis, Katie Garza, Chase Caldwell, Candy Coated Thorns, Chifuhu, Chris the Pianist, Christian Simniak, Christian Hundorf, Christoph Fatui, Christopher Santis, Clay Roberts, Cody Westley, Corey Jackson, Corey Landega, Culinary Stud, Cyberboa, Dakota Hayes, Damnable Nook, Dan Sebring, Daniel Fuchs, Daniel Wong, DanPan16, Daryl Rodriguez, David Wilson, David Boyarsky, Delisi, Dimitri Zetas, Don Turner, DRD 7 of 14, Edison S. Prada Jr., Eric Maynard, Eric Tobias, Eric Gustafson, Espen Gotchman, Ethereal Ether, Faraz Rizvi, Fishflop, Forrest, From the Void, Gabriel Aberg, Glenn Olson, Gustav Strombaum, Hadi Ali, Haley Hill, Helen Y, Hitman 47, Isun Chor, Ian Anderson, Isaac Swanson, Jay Aldiar, Jameson Lapine, Jana, Jason I, JC3, Jeffrey Ruchtenwald, Jeremy Ferris, Jesse Fish, Jesse Wilkeson, Jethrin, Joe Frantic, Joey Din, John Gallagher, Jojo Denko, Jordan Phillips, Joshua Vanswall, Jose Carlos Madrigal, Julius Garcia, Junya Motomura, Justin Payne, Carl Williams, Kevin Gillet, Lars Berger, Leon Keys, Lindsay Wells, Linson Wu, Liam Ahern, Luis Sabara, Line Crown 19, Malcolm O'Shett, Malianware, Manuel Thomas, Marcel Giro 017 Froelich, Marco Hernandez, Materia Addict, Matthias Clare, Matt Ferguson, Matt Karwoski, Matthew Holmes, Matthew T. Ryan, Mazrim Tame, Megadet, Megan McDonough, Michael Bisegli, Michael Clendenan, Michael Kozachenko, Michael Pliskin, Michelle Nubb, Miguel, Mikhail Aniel, Mike Calvi, Mike Hook 1, Mikey Mizek Novak, Masuki 211, Mither Strongbeard, Mo Grant, Monica, Morpheus, Mr. Anarchy, Michelle Hooser, Nefertiti Jenkins, Nycrypt, Nevi Sun, Noah Weinstein, Ulf himself, Oruguchino, Pablo Rodriguez, Paul Sway, Philip Higdon, Quinn Riley, Rafa David, Raymond Lee, Reed Johnson, Ritz 1906, Roy Eschke, Russell Bateman, Ryan Anderson, Sam Sorensen, Samuel Copeland, Sean Cornett, Sebastian Urban, Sebastian Trier, Sneaky Gato, Spencer Stevens, Splontot, Stefan Hines, Strikeout NZ, Super 3D Cow, T-Beaks 15, Tense George, The Classiest Hobo, Tim Strothman, Thomas Blaze Fauchereau, Tim Mann, Tim O'Keefe, TJ Sullivan, Toasty Soul, Tom Masterman, Travis Eng, Trevor Thomas, Tristan Howard, Trizac, Tuttle, Tyler Wallace, V8 Dave, V. Cura Ray, Volker Bach, Wavy Chula, Willow Pingree, Wobess, Wouter DeHaze, ZK.